expensive movies are their worst movies. Oh wow!
Live.
I'm just gonna press the live button. Well, who do you think you are, Mr. Clever?
Mr. Clever.
I didn't have a funny thing to say.
We're on episode 55, and you think like you're not anticipating by now?
Not at all.
Anytime. What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode, as I said, number 55, the king size Dune issue of the show. It's gonna be a big one. A lot of discussion, but not without my Spider-Verse annoyance for Evan. Speaking of Evan, he is joining us today.
Hey, I'm hyped. This is finally happened. We are at a podcast where we've all already seen Dune. I've seen it twice, and I've loved it. Twice.
I've seen it once, surprisingly.
Once. Nice.
Tomorrow, I'm going
Our
again.
Local reader.
I know.
Well, he read it, so.
Yeah. And I got some questions too. I can't wait to dive into this movie. I loved it. But then, yeah, there's some Spider-Man news. We're gonna get into some speculation regarding Spider-Man and pesky release dates. So that should be fun.
Let's join us. We do have our local our local library goer.
There we go.
Carson.
I'm a Dune hugger. Yeah, happy to be here. And man, this movie, I'm in a spice trance this whole weekend, honestly.
His eyes do look bluer.
It's a diet, man.
I wish you bought colored contacts.
Dude, that'd be funny. Like, you just did a subtle cosplay and just completely play it off. Yikes. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna talk about Dune. And
he has like his earbuds piece to his nose.
Oh my god, I could tape it and it would be like perfect nose piece. Yeah, God, you're giving me ideas for next podcast. I'll just show up, even though it won't be our main review. But anyways, we got.
We're gonna hit those box office reports. No worries.
Oh yes. Tomorrow morning is gonna be either chaos or just calm waters. Everyone's like, oh, you know what? This is good. So I don't know what it's gonna be.
Chaos walking tomorrow.
It will.
Oh.
Well, I'll be walking on the sand doing the sand dance where we had to not move with the sand, you know.
Which didn't actually work in the
yeah.
We were talking about it.
It worked. They were just like, oh shit, we're in the way.
Start us off with some Spidey stuff, Nathan. The most anticipated movie now that Dune has come out, I think, for all of us, right?
I don't know, man. That Matrix 4 trailer played today.
Oh, Matrix. What else? Matrix.
Me and my
oh
dad
my god!
Were just kind of like,
yeah.
Dude, they they must have like loved me at my new theater because like I'm walking in the IMAX. First off, the seats were nicer than my old one. I was like, damn. And I think it's a bigger screen too, so I was like, damn. And then like they go through, and then they had like that Shift promo that was like, another dimension, what's coming to IMAX, which my theaters hasn't been playing much lately, so I was like, hey, I missed you, because I recognize all the fucking intros. And then they were just like, boom, right away, Spider-Man Far From Home, Eternals, Matrix, Batman, fuck!
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
that was a good lineup.
I went to AMC yesterday, and I realized I need to go to AMC more often. They play way better trailers at AMC. I went comparing the AMC trailers from yesterday to the Cinemark trailers. Big difference. Like Nathan said, it starts off with I got Ambulance, then I got Eternals, then I got Spider-Man, Matrix, Batman. I'm like,
I got the Scream trailer too.
Wow.
Like,
and I got Scream, yes.
Yeah,
Scream
same.
too. And seeing the Batman trailer on the big screen, the IMAX, oh my god, feeling the vibrations. I kept
looking around because it was like a full screen. I looked around as soon as it was like the diner. I'm like, do they know it's the Batman? Because I know it's the Batman.
I audibly was like, yes. I was wondering if they weren't going to show it or not, but I'm happy they did.
I was getting worried. I was like, okay, like they had like the green band without the rating. I was like, oh, this could be it. And then it was Matrix. So I was like, still cool. But I was like, what if I don't get? And then they did it again. I was like, oh, it's got me. And then I see the diner. I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, AMC played way better trailers today. I got like Clifford. I did get Batman. I got something else. I got Spencer, which fell off compared to.
Oh,
Dune.
weird.
I'm like, okay, we got Spencer there.
You seen No Time to Die, or what were you saying?
This is Dune today.
Time.
Yeah, Dune for a second time.
Okay.
It was weird seeing Spencer and then Clifford. I did no Eternals, no Spider-Man. What else did I got? Matrix and Batman. It was just no Marvel stuff. It was weird.
I got the WB, I guess. Probably like required.
AMC hooked me up though. Thank you. And I finally saw the Nicole Kidman thing that you guys talked about.
The ad, yeah.
It was just so
we
weird.
do the movies different.
Oh, we make movies better. I was like, I love how cocky it is.
It's all plastic. It was on the AMC doors too. Like they have it up on like the doors.
Wow,
really?
Which is funny that's all up, and then I'll go in and I was like in the concessions line, and there was still like a standee candy thing for Rise of Skywalker. So it's just funny that they have the new campaign up, and then there'll still be like little like old stuff in there.
I love the line. It's like somehow heartbreak feels good in a place like this, and I'm just like, I like it. You're right.
You're right.
You're right. I do love what Josh pointed out in chat. It was just like, take us places we've never been before. And immediately cuts to Jurassic World.
How did you recognize that?
Pretty
I wonder if they're still gonna have like Rise of Skywalker popcorn bins when Rogue Squadron comes out.
Dude, there were like, hey, like, we all love Last Jedi, and obviously it did phenomenal. But like, my theater had like an entire back room of TLJ popcorn tins. That's why I have like a giant like stack of them.
That's funny.
But yeah, we got a couple of new images that came out. I wake up, I look at my phone, not even like 20 minutes go by, that this image released of a new image of Tom on set as Spidey, as well as there was an image of Tom in the Iron Spider suit running away from Doc Ock. It's been memed to hell today.
It's such a weird shot.
It's a weird shot. People are like, it looks bad. I'm just like, it looks like a mid-frame out of nowhere. I don't know why they pulled it.
EW is known for that though, right? Like they always pull
Empire
mid-frame or Empire. Oh, that's Empire, not EW.
Yeah. Empire.
Usually Empire is better at that kind of stuff. Usually it's like EW that picks all the weird images from the movie, but Empire usually picks a good shot. I remember the Last Jedi Empire. They did the Kylo and Rey in the throne room. We're like, oh my god, this is crazy.
Really? Yeah. Well, heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
Ouch.
Unrelated.
I think the spider stuff. Yeah.
I think my biggest pull was seeing the image of Tom, because I'm looking around and I'm seeing the lighting. I'm just like, I jumped right to it. I was like, seeing the fucking Spider-Man 2 finale is the sun over there. Like,
I know. And then you like cranked up the saturation on the image, and I'm like, oh, is it the light? I don't know.
Yeah. What image are you talking about? Just for the people who don't have it on them.
I should look Carson.
It's in the thumbnail. It's in our thumbnail.
Oh yeah, you're right. So this is the one where he's like in his spider formation,
bending down. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He's got that classic spider pose. Such a poser.
Okay.
And
and you think this is a scene from Spider-Man 2 where the guys try to recreate the sun?
Yeah. the moment in the river. Famous
that one weird
Alfred Molina.
That one weird dude played by Alfred Molina trying to recreate the sun. I think that's his big plan.
Dr. Otto Octavius.
Yeah. Wonder what he does.
Some fucking nerd, anyway.
Yeah.
No kidding. Nobel Prize, Otto. Let's quote all these things. Anyway, I think, I'm just like looking around the setting, and I mean, it just looks like a weird like foundation that he's standing on. That like, it doesn't seem like a normal interior. It looks like just like things are like hobbled like on the ground.
Yeah,
and that it could be like a little bit of that destruction from the climax of Spider-Man 2 in the warehouse.
Which is interesting. It is funny. I have to comment first off that Tom has his mask off once again. It seems like every movie this guy has his mask off revealing his identity, especially in the movie about his identity. But yeah, it could definitely be the scene from him going into Peter or Toby's dimension, which is interesting. I didn't really. I guess we have theorized about that, right? Because there are some theories about like, oh, he's wearing the suit and tie. I hate that theory, but he's like wearing the suit and tie from Toby's universe. Was weird.
I mean, he is, but like, I don't think it's related.
It's a suit and tie.
It is, but it's the exact same one. It's the same color. Anyway,
he's gonna have to act like the Spider-Man in the different universe.
It is interesting because, like, in further tidbits that I'm like taking in, as well as discussing with Trey, because we know too much. There's like some like insiders that are saying that this actually takes place in like around the ending finale climax of the film.
Oh.
Which I feel like could still potentially hold water for like me saying it's a Spider-Man 2 scene if we're like returning them back to their Nexus points taken out. Trey was theorizing
Hmm.
because like I'm pretty sure I've discussed with you guys before. Like, there's going to be a big like climactic thing at the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, I heard about that one. Yeah.
Trey was wondering if it was
Is this
there,
like
but
X-Men, right? X-Men 1
right.
was that?
It was X-Men 1, 2000.
Jeez, 2000. Right.
And I was like talking with Trey, and I was just like, I don't know. And then I literally like looked up the interior look of the or of Statue of Liberty, and it doesn't look anything like it.
Dang it.
So I was like, but then yeah, the fact that it's potentially like,
Is the rumor that they're fighting around it, like on top of it and bullshit like that?
something like it's. I mean, I think it's supposed to be like some sort of new set piece because like based on like a set photo that came out, I think like me and Carson followed this guy named Houston, who accidentally broke it as a scoop because he was just like walking around the set, I guess, and they like left a banner of it. There's like a new design of the Statue of Liberty that has like a cap shield,
Oh.
in the MCU.
That's terrible.
I don't want to know. Oh, are you offended for history?
I don't want to be that guy, but what the hell?
Are we appropriating the French gift that we got?
Is this part of like what Cap did in Endgame? He went back in time and he whispered to the Statue of Liberty creator. He was like, "Hey, how about you make a shield right here instead of a torch?"
It's a fake universe. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird. I might dock me down to 4 stars to the 5 stars. This
All
way.
right.
But
Well,
so who's battling on the statue? Is this Sinister Six? All of them just?
presumably it's the Sinister Six and the 3 Spider-Men.
Okay.
Also, there was a reply from Sony Pictures UK of 3 Spider logos to the Empire Magazine article. Some people are like, is that confirmation of the 3 Spider-Men from Sony? Or is it just mean that it's the 3rd movie of Tom? I don't know.
Or just the intern being super excited and reading.
See, now me, I'm like, oh fuck yeah, but Evan's just like, shut up.
Tame yourself.
But usually for those like big companies, they always have like some random person in charge of their Twitter account.
Very true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still don't know how I feel about this Sinister Six. That's going to be the one that's going to have to get me. I don't know. Invested in, because it feels like they're just like, we can't. And I read this quote from Feige today regarding the not Sinister Six, but getting Melina back. And he said like, well, I couldn't conceive of doing another Otto Octavius because Alfred Molina's was so good. So I was like, let's just bring him back. And for me, I'm like, well, I don't really know if I agree with that. I mean, I agree that Alfred Molina's great. Mm-hmm. But I think it's just the same mentality that Feige had with J.K. Simmons and I'm forgetting the news reporter. But J.K. Simmons, like he brought J.K. Simmons back, and I was bringing Alfred Molina back because they're so good at what they did. They couldn't possibly replicate it, so they're bringing them back. And for me, I'm like, well, it's been 20 years later. We can have a phenomenal actor play Otto Octavius and give us an original Otto that we could have for years to come. Instead of, it feels like if they're bringing back Otto from Alfred Molina, then he seems like a one and done person to me. That's just what it seems to me.
Well, I think it also falls under the Feige quote that like they wanted to explore new villains anyways, so we may not even like get another Ock for like a while.
That's what it seems like to me. Because if you're making a huge hoopla over having Alfred Molina back as Ock, then it's gonna be a long time, if ever, we get to see a new Ock from a new actor with a new interpretation, which is what I wanted from the MCU. The beauty of the MCU is getting a new universe and new actors doing the same things we saw in the other movies.
It is funny to think though of like if that's like the logic they play off of, and we've already hit like so many of the big Spidey Rogues gallery. It's like, who are we getting at? The Chameleon,
right?
The Spot.
Like, yeah,
I would like to see the Spot. That would be cool.
Because it's like, imagine in Robert Pattinson's Batman, there's like, well, I really liked
Jim
Carrey's Riddler. We couldn't possibly do it again, so let's have Jim Carrey and our Robert Pattinson. Like, no, like that's why we have Paul Dano now. So it's like I wanted somebody else to be, especially if it's one and done. But Spider-Man has such a beautiful rogues gallery that even if a lot of these Sinister Six characters are one and done in this movie, there's still a ton of other things that they can do in the future for his next trilogy.
Yeah, because I mean that is like a lot of viable ones to throw away. I mean, Hawk and Green Goblin are such big ones, but also I mean, Sandman and Lizard, and Electro are also just like, damn, that's a lot of fun. Granted, we had like a lot of fun with
Right?
Vulture and Mysterio.
And Vulture was so cool because like a new actor, new villain. I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
So Nate,
Tied to Tony Stark.
Yeah. But, do you think? So yeah, do you think this is the last time we're going to see villains like Ock and Green Goblin?
I think they could.
What do you
Honestly,
think?
I would love to see if like they build up the MCU Norman Osborn more and more, because there's always been like plenty of Spidey stories where like Peter is well aware that Norman is the Green Goblin. He has to like navigate that in his normal life and stuff, and that could be interesting to explore. But it probably will be a while before we get Ock or like Electro.
So go through the Sinister Six for me that we're getting in this movie.
Okay, so we're gonna be getting Doc Ock and Green Goblin. Green Goblin being the essential like, ringmaster. It seems. Electro.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx.
Right. The Lizard and Sandman, and the sixth one's still a mystery. Some reports would say like, oh, Rhino. Some others say Mysterio. Honestly, it's actually interesting. The hold on. Wait, let me go on the Mysterio one, because there was like specialized Empire covers that they released as well. The first one was just like a trippy one that had like the Goblin Bomb and the Ock Arm, and it gets a better look at the integrated suit that Spidey's gonna be wearing for the climax of the film.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, beautiful. It's in the thumbnail. But also, there was like another like pop art one that had like little things, like one that had a confirmation of like a Sandman fist, so like that's like confirmation there was like a little lightning bolt for Electro, obvious tentacles, and like a Goblin Bomb. But then like all of like the circles that are on are just like flat circles, but there is like one that looks like the fucking fishbowl orb of Mysterio, because it's got like the like, reflectiveness in it, like it's a spherical like orb, instead of just being like a flat circle like the rest of the art. So and I would love that if he's the sixth member, and like because let Tom have a villain.
Yeah, right. And do you think this will be Jake then? You think Jake's coming back for No Way Home?
Sure, if he's doing a Michael Bay film.
Oh, I mean, totally. Yeah, I think I would love. I think Jake's down to do pretty much anything if he had fun with it.
For a price.
Yeah.
All right, where is this poster?
It should.
Do you have it put up?
Do you have it,
Carson? If you could share it. But I don't know. Like I hope we see, because when I envisioned this movie, I envisioned some of these characters are going to be teased, and then we'll get them in like a later Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
But let's see here. Is this the one you're talking about, or is this the right poster?
No, not this one.
Oh, but this has all the. This has the.
No, but that's. I can like send it in chat.
Is it also on Empire?
Yeah, it is. It was one of, or at least
no, it's on the Republic.
What?
Get it?
Oh god! Oh, this.
Yeah.
Oh, this was designed by a fan artist, though. It said, "No Way Home. What an honor! I designed this new cover for Empire magazine. Thanks so much to the wonderful team at Empire for letting me go mad on the cover."
Well, Sonny greenlit it.
Well, he certainly went mad.
All right,
okay, I'll share.
When you share it, does it say like Carson wants to share, Nathan?
Yeah, it basically like pops up, and I gotta add it.
Interesting.
Manually. Yeah, so like the orb under the E at the end, the blue one.
Oh,
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, that looks like an ornament.
Okay, but like in comparison, like every other circle shape, everything's flat.
Everything's flat. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, interesting.
Dang.
But yeah, I'm curious to see what they do with all these villains, because it seems like the basic premise is like they get captured, or they get released and captured then released. Is that what happens?
They get, I think, thrown out of whack, gathered up by Strange.
Off screen or on screen? Do you think?
Probably on screen. Probably quick. It could just be
Montage.
like probably like a fast spell acting like roundup, and then they break out again, and then we gotta like they're getting too crazy because they're like teamed up. So it's too much to handle. So we got to get more spites.
Cool.
But yeah, there was some quotes, actual quotes from the.
Yeah, I want to hear what these John Watt quotes were.
Yeah, let me read a few things. So
yeah, John Watts is talking about voltage and stuff.
Yeah, Electro 3.0. No Way Home is going to be a big movie. We're definitely trying to be ambitious, says John Watts. How ambitious? It's Spider-Man Endgame, he says, laughing, but seemingly not joking. Yeah, bringing all these things together. Yeah, and I know Tom was saying like previous quotes, like I think even before this about they were handling this as more like they're treating it like a finale, like a big like grandiose thing, not as like an end, but I mean a wrap up of this trilogy to the next. High school to college, presumably for the new trilogy.
Yeah.
And then I think I got a quote from Tom here that he says, when I was first pitched the idea, I was like, wow, that would be awesome if we could pull it off. But there's just no way it's going to work. You're just not going to be able to get everyone to do what they need to. It's just not going to happen. But it did happen, and it's crazy. Which I could understand. Like, thinking of all the principles, like, get all these actors back to be able to do, like, this whole story. It seemed improbable, but here we are.
He basically saying it without saying it.
Yeah.
And I'm still on the case of this might be Tobey Maguire's like one and done, but Andrew, I could definitely see Andrew sticking around for future pop-ins compared to Tobey. Tobey for me just seems like I'll come in for the check and I'll do.
Where you get that I want it to be like a nice like a right off the sunset type ending.
Yeah, for Tobey. Yeah,
swing off into the sunset like the Raimi films do.
But Andrew, man, especially just having watched the great Spider-Man movies, I'm just I want to see more of Andrew. He's the guy I'm most excited to see in this movie because I love his Spider-Man. Both his
Where's that Disney Plus show?
Need it.
Yeah, there's a quote from Feige. He was like, I remember having discussions with Amy Pascal years ago. Do we want to revisit villains we've seen before? No, let's do Vulture and Mysterio and characters we haven't brought to the screen before. But I remember thinking, how would you even do Doc Ock again? Because ultimately it's perfect casting. If you ever brought him back, it would have to be him somehow.
No, wouldn't.
Right, yeah, and we discussed that. And then also it went on to say in the article, Reed Empire's full Spider-Man No Way Home cover feature on sale Thursday, 20th October. So they're gonna drop like an even bigger tidbit. Yeah, there's already been like rumors that potentially a trailer was coming this coming Monday, and if it did, and it potentially, which we're gonna speculate what they could feature if it gets more into deep dive of like not just Sinister Six, but like the Spider-Man, which would be a great thing to market and make money, that they could actually like drop like a big Empire scoop of just be like, yeah, we talked with Tobey and Andrew. And Andrew's just like, oh, I can finally breathe now.
I know. Every interview he's in, he's like, so Spider-Man.
Do you think they're gonna blow the doors wide open on this before the movie comes out?
They have to.
Right? Yeah, I don't think it'll be a matter of like we're gonna like the whole trailer is just all three of them going. I think we're gonna need a little like sample. There's gonna be like hella TV spots that we need to avoid, but they're gonna like have like a little nice taste of it. Like definitively, you can see that is Andrew's face, that is Tobey's face. Tom is here too. We're on this adventure. Get tickets now, like stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it will be just like the Captain America Civil War trailer, where at the very end you see boom, and Andrew's like,
what a scary time, by the way, because TV spots start coming out, and it was like he's catching Bucky's arm, and I'm like, I want to see.
I was like, yeah, that's Civil War promo.
Oh man,
something else. But yeah, I could definitely see the very end of this trailer being Tobey and Andrew off frame.
Tyler.
What's up, Tyler?
Yo. Actual one from our chat. Is
this the real Tyler? Okay.
The real,
yeah.
The real Tyler, please stand.
It's not the fake Preston or the fake Tyler. They're confirmed, verified. Verify their accounts.
Oh, he says we aren't going to see them, or Tyler thinks we aren't going to see them in the trailer. I feel like Sony, first of all, they suck at making trailers.
Oh, the ending of Venom animated Spider-Man 2 are in the trailers.
That Venom ending. And Amazing Spider-Man 2, I've never been more wow in my life. I'm just like, okay, this is ridiculous.
Again, I would love for No Way Home to, like, when we Chicken on Andrew start where that fight is left off. That would be cool.
That'd be funny as heck.
I would love that. It'd be, oh yeah, you had to wait 7 years.
7 years and pick up exactly. Yeah.
And speaking about that fight, I cannot see Paul Giamatti coming back for this movie.
It's an odd choice.
No way.
It's an odd
At
choice.
all. You and Trey were like rhinos in this movie. No way in hell.
It's just some things we've heard, but no, it's funny because
this movie it was not Paul Giamatti.
No, it's funny because as of late we've heard like zip about it now, and if we would have gotten something more concrete by now, so I don't think it's happening anymore.
Yeah.
I'm on the Mysterio train. I love that idea.
It could be that Paul Giamatti was filming Jungle Cruise. He's like, you know what? Let me go in across the street, hop in,
Hop in a cameo. Oh, yeah, that's pretty funny.
I want Bruce Campbell back.
I could see definitely see Bruce Campbell.
He's gonna be in Doctor Strange.
Or Doctor Strange. I mean, yeah, not
for sure.
Spider-Man, but yeah, Doctor Strange.
I hope Bruce Campbell's one of the alternate hero actors. I just wonder who it would be.
He'd be playing like an alternate universe to Iron Man, probably. That'd be fun.
Yeah, let him be that fucking
be
Mysterio cameo he was gonna do in Spider-Man 4.
That'd be cool.
That was supposed to happen.
Yeah, in the opening of Spider-Man 4 as like a joke, like it's kind of a joke villain, like just stopping a robbery. Spidey's taken out. Mysterio punches that fishbowl, breaks it. It's Bruce Campbell.
Nice.
What was I gonna say?
But yeah, I would. Oh, sorry.
Trailer prediction is that what we're about to go to? Yeah.
What we would expect to see. It's hard to say like definitely what they're gonna physically put it. What I think they're gonna do mostly.
You go first.
They're going to like flash like the importance, like here's what we're up against, like bam, Electro, Sandman, and we're gonna like spotlight all the Sinister Six. Like this is Thunderface and Tom's getting overwhelmed, and we're going through the trailer. You know, plenty of multiversal jargon spoken by Strange. Cool visuals of the villains attacking. It's too much for Tom, and get that set up like the final like 10-ish seconds of the trailer, and you get like a little voiceover.
Pizza time.
Yeah, something like. And you just like see, and you just like look over, and it's like boom, it's like Toby, Andrew, Spider-Man, No Way Home.
Are they all in suits, or like is it just going to be the three Peters?
I think for sure they will be in suits, unmasked, just to drive home. Like this is them, like as them.
They're at a coffee shop.
It's not just like, oh, we decided to rehire Andrew for like this, like look, he's like he's dressed like Social Network. Like no, it's not like that.
Andrew's just breaking laptops. He's like, I need your help. It's like, oh shit.
How about now, Ak? You still wired in?
I think Tyler got it right. They're gonna.
What's he got here? Tom's today gonna kiss. I
hope. Maybe? I think the romance is gonna be really core to this, and I hope it's just
I need to see that
front and center. Because it's taken so long for us to get to the
crux of it.
All
Peter
two
and
movies.
MJ thing, you know?
Which is why I like the first trailer a lot. Whenever I see it, I'm like, yes, give me all the
just them, you know,
hanging
scenes.
out. I think because second trailers usually like rehash parts of the first trailer.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see like the rooftop scene again, the bridge scene again.
I think we're gonna get more heavy-handed of just like the identity crisis in the beginning again. We're gonna play more of like flying through that mirror dimension with Strange. Maybe a bit more of the canyon train fight.
Which is still so weird. Are they fighting each other?
I wonder what the conflict is going to be between like Peter and MJ in terms of, like, is he gonna like probably neglect her because he's not gonna feel like that he needs to put the weight on her shoulders. I'm sure that's gonna be part of it, right?
And
I mean, before the spell, I don't know.
Yeah. For me, like, how much does Zendaya have in terms of her role after the spell?
Which is,
you know what I mean?
So interesting to me.
I think before the spell, we're getting all this stuff from the trailer where he's like, I like you, I want to be with you, I'm sorry I had to lie to you, blah, blah, blah. But then after the spell, where his identity, you know, just disappears, does he try to go back to her? We saw the set video with the coffee shop, but people think that's like the end of the movie. So I'm like, when does she and his friends, do they have a role in the second and third acts of this movie?
Didn't Nathan say that like some people like come back to it quicker or something? Or you said that, I can't remember what you said.
I think I was talking about the comic idea of it was like the effects of the spell can wear off when you like remind the person of the events and it starts flooding back in the comics. But what I think the film's gonna do is we're gonna take like a good if it is around the 2 hour 30-minute mark, which is being rumored right now.
Oh God.
What? Too much?
For Spider-Man, it's a bit too much.
Wait, what did you just say?
Spider-Man Endgame.
2 hours, 2.5 hours
for this
There's
movie?
No way.
I believe it.
I probably believe it.
220.
Dude, Eternals is what 235, like
237.
and it's a new essential franchise for the.
Which is that's a good point. That's a good point.
This is Spider-Man Endgame, as John Ross describes.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
But I think we're gonna take a good like 35-minute focus on the identity crisis and the setup of like do the spell, and I think MJ is gonna be like around, and Ned too, May as well, and I think everybody's gonna be like supportive, like try to get Peter through this tough time while he's trying to figure it out and trying to live through it. We go to Strange, try to get the help. Things burst out. The ball's rolling, and like we're busy. We gotta like stop this. So things start to roll out, and then that's where it starts like building up. That like when we do get that point of like doing the spell again, my theory like how it's going to go is like once we wrap everything up, we are going to do the spell again properly, and we're deciding on it because we do it properly without the interruptions by Peter of just like this and this, and then I like the idea of like my theory of like that set foot at the coffee shop that like Peter goes in and he wants to tell MJ about it, but like fucking moral lesson of being Spider-Man, of the whole great power, great responsibility, and protection of your family and friends, he decides not to, and he just has to he knows MJ.
The court case too. Is that gonna happen on the first act as well? Do you think
there's a court case?
Okay, 45. I'm trying. But yeah, I think we'll figure this out for sure. I think it is in the beginning, from what I've heard. But yeah, I think like Peter's ultimately by the end of this is just gonna have to be like he'll still know MJ. It's just like the things they've gone through, no longer of knowledge.
Real quick, I do hope, because I love in the Amazing Spider-Man where Emma, but does Emma figure it out in Amazing Spider-Man?
Well,
does she
in the first one, yes.
Yeah.
Peter's just like he can't like really express like both how he feels and that he's Spider-Man, so he just fucking like webs her and like pulls her in the spin kiss, and it's adorable.
I love it.
I like it when they both know. Like I like
Sure.
I love the ending thing. I think that would be heartbreaking and amazing and emotional. I would love that. But I do hope in the future that they both know. I think it works. Just that chemistry works better when they both know. It's like, because then he has to deal with it. The same thing we get in both the Amazing Spider-Man movies and in like Spider-Man 2 and then the Spider-Man video game.
I think we can definitely explore that come the potential college trilogy.
Yeah. But I just hope that the emotional core isn't missing when we get Toby and Andrew instead of Zendaya. Because like when Zendaya, same thing for Far From Home, where Zendaya's in it a little bit, in bits and pieces. Like she helps discover that Mysterio's evil, and then she's still separated from Peter. I just want Peter and MJ.
We really haven't had her core movie yet.
Yeah, exactly.
I really hope this could.
It's hard to phrase.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm intrigued to see how the film goes in general. I've heard
this is apparently the most emotional Spider-Man movie, according to rumors.
Oh, for sure.
According to John Watts himself.
Well, yeah, based on like
somebody tweeted it today. Is like there are reports saying this is the most emotional and something Spider-Man movie.
Do you guys think someone's gonna
die?
It's so weird in terms of death in Spider-Man movies. It's usually
right because I don't know what's permanent. Like I don't know what they're gonna like.
Oh yeah, the MCU is terrible with that. But I'm talking about like
has it been lately?
Yeah, but recently they've been killed off. They made bad decisions. Like they killed off Michael B. Jordan, which is a terrible mistake.
Okay, yeah, they could have just locked him up.
And I still think they'll bring him back.
Aren't they getting better at that now, though? Just like not just like wasting.
Kate Blanchett is rumored to be dead. I don't know, but usually in Spider-Man movies, what I'm trying to say is that they kill off like the parental figures. They kill off like your
and the villains.
The villains and the Guardians. Like you get your Norman dead. The police chief in Amazing Spider-Man dead. Who died in Amazing Spider-Man 2? So sometimes you get the best friends, as in Gwen or Harry. Yeah. But those are usually like the ends of certain arcs. And even though this is the end of something, I can't see, especially a kid like Ned dying, or a kid. Any of Peter's friends are all kids. Like I can't see them dying.
It's funny. Originally, I heard a report of a specific character dying, and now I've also recently heard alternatively a different character. So it's just like I don't know what's concrete. I don't know, but there is like I've heard things that like due to that event leads to a very like lashed out, angry Tom's Peter that just goes like insane on I think specifically Norman.
Norman just loves killing Peter's friends.
He does. And I would love to see like the more angrier side of like Tom and like lashing out.
Me too.
Yeah, I would too.
I just want to see more emotion from Tom. Because like Mysterio betrayed him and he was like upset, but it was like I didn't get like super. I don't know. I didn't get a lot of emotion from Tom.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, because you told us earlier that there's a rumor that Ned, but I can't see Ned biting dust at all.
I've heard that, but now I'm hearing someone else, and it's like,
okay.
Oh boy.
I can't.
I feel like if it's the new one I'm hearing, it would be even more like, holy shit! Like,
I wonder. Is it a kid or an adult?
I feel like that gives. I don't know.
Does it?
I mean,
I don't know. How many more adults does Peter know?
It would probably be May, honestly.
Happy?
Oh, you're
May
if he goes off happy, I'm just gonna laugh.
No.
Sorry, Peter. Tell your.
I don't know.
It's
interesting. It's interesting because we have the whole Tony loss is played up, in Far From Home, but we haven't lost anybody in the personal circle from our own. I mean, Uncle Ben is gone, obviously, but in this iteration,
the people Peter's known like most of his life.
Yeah. And so it's interesting how that stakes will eventually come into play.
I can't see Aunt May dying at all, right? That's a 0%
I don't think so. Yeah.
chance.
One more day.
Oh yeah, but Aunt May dies 0% chance because just logistically, like, where is he going to live? I mean, granted, he's going to college, so he doesn't. Really
Happy, you said.
He's going to college, so he doesn't really need like to be at Aunt May's house anymore. He just have a dorm, but it's still, I'm just like, I feel like they always need to have that guardian with Peter.
Yeah.
Happy.
No, not Jon Favreau. He's too busy doing Iron Man.
Is he?
No, I'm kidding.
Does Happy return for Ironheart?
I hope not.
Probably.
You really don't like Happy?
I hate anything that has to do with Tony. I'm done.
Oh, okay.
He's dead.
In Ironheart, though.
Oh God.
Still dead.
Still dead.
I know he's dead. I'm just saying it's fucking Iron. Anyway.
Man.
I don't see anybody dying unless they be stupid and kill another Spider-Man.
I wouldn't care at that point, right?
Wouldn't care.
I think a lot of people would care.
If they killed off Tobey Maguire, no tears.
Yeah.
Because his movies are gone.
Because you're angry, or
no? Because his movies are done. So I wasn't expecting to see him anyways in the future at all.
I mean,
yeah. It's hard to explain.
But then
I did. I grew up with it before the reboots.
I don't know. It's hard to explain. I love Andrew. If they killed off Andrew, I'd be like, damn.
Yeah, it's gonna be so interesting how they weave.
Either of them should.
Weave the canons because then it's like weird because it's like I don't know how I'm gonna feel about all this stuff when it happens.
What's up, AJ?
What if they killed MJ?
I don't. Well, based on the theory of my ending,
chance.
No, I don't think so.
MJ and Aunt May are 100,000,
safe,
a million, trillion % safe.
They kill MJ.
I feel like there's a possibility of Aunt May. I mean,
there's no way to kill Aunt May. 0% chance. Put it on the podcast. Record
it
this.
Would be a pretty good catalyst for a college-aged Spidey, but
record this.
I don't think they're gonna do it. You know what? No, they're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think anyone's dying.
I'm trying to think of the Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home. Who could die?
Right. Like
Nick Fury,
Betty Brant.
Betty Brand. Oh, poor Ned.
what Flash is gonna die.
Well, what would that do for Peter?
Nothing,
but
because they've
he
done
made
nothing
that
with the
in
Flash.
Collateral.
They've done nothing with the Flash character.
Blonde Flash, let's go.
Uh,
Agent Venom.
Doctor Strange dies.
I would. Hey.
No more leaders for the.
That just breaks out new theories for the fucking sequel.
Who was in Doctor Strange too?
Is it Doctor Strange
It's
Supreme?
Mephisto. Oh my
It's the
God.
What If Strange.
Yeah.
Too funny.
But the trailer, yes, I think it'll be intense.
It'll be 2 minutes and 37 seconds. I'm calling it now.
Yeah. For the
The first
trailer-
one was 3 minutes.
Was it? The first one 3 minutes?
It is, isn't that wild?
That's
Dang.
wild. It doesn't seem
I
that
thought
long.
it was like 2.
Yeah, it doesn't seem.
Well,
that
3
long.
minutes with the fucking 5-second Sony teaser.
Oh
Doesn't
yeah.
count,
255.
Yeah, I definitely see more shots of the villains. Hopefully, more MJ and Peter stuff. And yeah, I don't know what else. Peter and Tony, more of the action sequences. We didn't get much action sequences in this first trailer, right? So
Yeah,
Yeah.
not with Tom.
And I think, and I said like definitive spotlight of the Sinister Six, like their look. This is that.
Mhm.
Willem Dafoe, Jamie Foxx, we're back.
Yeah, maybe some of their motivations for like that they're together. Like, oh, like we gotta go after the.
what are we? Some kind of Sinister Six?
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be a little. It's gonna be a little weird seeing them
let me-
all together and
Right?
Let
What,
me get
what do we do not like?
Hey.
let me get you a potential one prediction of like Sony showing too much.
Okay.
What is your one prediction of like Sony interjects one thing that's just like you could have not shown that?
I think Toby and Andrew in an action sequence. I don't want to see them like beating up on a Sinister Six member.
Yeah,
don't
I
wanna
would
see
love
that.
to
That's
say
a bit
that.
too much. Just show them like swing in and drop in kind of thing. That's all I need.
Yeah.
I don't need
or
them
even
being
just like
boom,
Tom
boom,
turn
boom.
around, there they are. That would be perfect.
Something like that. I don't need to see them.
We
in
need some
act-
good
'cause
web slinging in this trailer.
We do
For
That's
sure.
true.
We didn't really have any web slinging in the last trailer, besides in the
Well-
beginning when he's running from the news report.
There was that cool swing behind Sandman, which kind of brings me to my thing that I think they might show is if they do the like Evan said the motivation of Sinister Six, I think they might show the doubt with Sandman because I know like he wasn't inherently evil even in like the Spider-Man 3. He was just doing it to save his daughter. He's not someone that's just like gotta kill this random kid. Like that's not who he is. So
half these people aren't evil. Like
I know, and that's why in like the first trailer, I believe Sandman is straight up blocking Electro from attacking Spidey when he's swinging around.
Like Electro, even was Electro evil? He got more evil after the experiment on him, right? After
Well,
the
he was
trial.
already kind of like
loopy
out of it, but then he got manipulated further by
He
Harry.
got manipulated. But even most of all, the thing that's gonna hurt the most is Doc Ock. I'm like, this guy. It was a good.
As I said, I think
wasn't
it
a good
depends.
person.
I always said like it depends on that moment in the river, and I think it's before the talk with Toby is when he'll be pulled out. I think that would be logically where you take him
Before the talk with Toby.
Also, I think like how it's really going to play out with defeating the Sinister Six isn't just going to be like, oh yeah, we're like we got 3 Spider-Man beating up the team. I think it's going to like turn into like a lot of like doubt and infighting, like that thing with Sandman and
I
stuff.
hope so. That's
And I
intriguing
think
to me.
I think they'll start to break apart, and like Norman's the big bad we really got to take off. So like he's probably going to get frustrated and like shift with whatever the big plan is on his own, and then we're going to get that confrontation lead up to that. And it's all intriguing. It's all speculation right now, really.
I wonder what kind of suits they're gonna have. Have you read that up in your rumors, Nathan? The suits of the Sinister Six, like we saw Ock wearing his classic Spider-Man. What is Green Goblin gonna look like? Is he gonna be MCU?
Yeah, no, I think kind of in a sense, like it's still the familiar look of the Raimi armor, but it's color coordinated more properly with the purple hints.
That's what I thought.
I think I don't know if they're just like painting like the tip of the helmet or if he's actually going to have like the nightcap on, but there's going to be like way more purple integrated within the suit and glider. I know Electro, they said is actually going to be yellow this time. from that like weird previs thing that leaked, it looked like Lizard was dressed in like the lab coat purple pants attire like the comics, which is a cool idea.
Wait, by the way, so all that confirms that these are alternate universes of the alternate universe of, you know what I mean? Like this isn't just.
I think it's
how is he yellow if he's from Andrew's?
No, absolutely, right? and again, also the last time we saw Electro, he got blown up.
He's dead. Yeah.
So I think it'll be like pick and choose. Like some will be like I think Ock will be returning on a specific point. Goblin even potentially, but I think it'll be a new Electro. It could be a new Lizard, unless I think it is a new Lizard because at the end of the movie, fucking Connors wasn't really inherently like he came more back around, and he was also healed. He wasn't Lizard anymore, really.
Nope.
He had some like skin scales, but that's about it.
Thanks to Gwen.
Yes. And Sandman already looked comic accurate as hell. And I think it could potentially be the same one. Because he didn't die in Spider-Man 3, he just kind of drifted off.
What is that quote that the news reporter said in Spider-Man 3 that's just so funny?
It's hard to believe what's happening up there. The brutality.
Oh my god! And imagine the news reports from this movie. It's gonna be funny. Like
could be the end of like, Spider-Man.
Yeah, like how's the world gonna cover it? It's just so funny. Like,
oh yeah, straight up really need you to fix
galaxy hopping creatures have invaded our
just
New
another
York.
day in New York where
just another
it's falling from the sky. Oh man.
I need pictures of him.
We now go live to the American statue.
Yikes. Oh boy. This movie's going to be balls to the wall crazy. I can't wait to see the new trailer. Hopefully it's Monday because a lot of you guys have been saying Monday. If it's not, I'm just going to laugh.
Me too.
Luckily, I don't go.
I told Trey, I was like, what will you become?
Do you think it'll drop in the morning or evening?
They usually do that. Sony's known for the 9 a.m.s, right?
Yeah, usually. I don't see this being like a random because I know they dropped the first one like in the evening. Took a while. I think that were they trying to like rush the like effects to finish because the one leaked
got leaked. Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense. So yeah, I think it'll drop to 9 a.m., which would be great for me because I start my first day at work at like 5 p.m.
Not for me because I'm at school and I can't react to anything till 11.
Okay, and it'll be fun for me because I'm gonna be wearing my fucking Spider-Man Halloween costume I got.
Oh yes.
So my first thumbnail where I'm just like fumbling all of my.
Are you gonna title it life? Can you title it "Lifelong Spider-Man Fan"?
Again, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Spider-Man fan loses it in spider sweatpants. I'm literally the homemade suit from Homecoming, the like literal sweatpant like attire.
That's so cool.
So fun.
But there was also some release dates, if we're still on the Sony thing.
Oh, yeah.
For Sony. So 2023, two release dates, right?
Right now. Oh, yeah, this is separate. I forgot. I thought you were going into, like, the Marvel shift dates. But no, they're Sony announced,
both.
Like, dates.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just on the Sony one because Sony Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So
The Amazing Spider-Man 3 and Spider-Man
0.5 with the team-up animated. What? Remember that email we were going over?
Spider-Man 4 with Sam Raimi returned to direct. I don't know.
But yeah, so Kraven is January 2023, and now we have this unannounced June 23rd, 2023, and October 6th, 2023.
And they're explicitly Sony Spider-Man?
Sony Marvel, yes.
Oh, Sony Marvel, okay.
None of them are like officially. What were the dates? The new ones?
October 6th, 2023, and June 23rd, 2023.
I feel like either of those could be like Venom 3.
I think Venom is definitely the October date. October 6th, 2023 feels like
Which
Venom.
should be interesting because we're going to talk about the new 2023 dates in a second. And I think Blade will be November 2023. That November date that was announced in there or moved up like a week or something in November.
How did they not put Blade in October?
I know, dude. I know.
What do you guys...
Vampires.
Same thing for Batman in March is kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. It was in October,
but
Halloween.
What do you guys think about this June 23rd, 2023? Because people are saying
summer
Spider-Man 4, movie. And that doesn't like June 23rd. It could easily be Spider-Man 4, but
they'd have to already be working on it.
Tom is so like every saying like this is the end. This is the end. Like
okay, it's funny. You guys. every time I keep seeing the mention of Spider-Man 4, I think it's just like the wishful toward it's like Toby's Spider-Man 4.
No.
That's what I keep thinking they're meaning. I don't think we're getting Spider-Man 4 for a minute.
That's why I keep there's all the
Didn't we
comments
say-
keep saying like Spider-Man 4, Spider-Man 4, Spider-Man 4.
I think it's going to be
No.
1 extra year between the start of the new trilogy. So I think it's going to be 3 years before we see the next Spider-Man movie.
I think we're all in agreement on that one. I
Yeah.
think for sure 2024 because
I remember
there's going to be a break.
I always said like I imagined that the Spider-Man and Venom 3 was not going to be explicitly like titled either. It would be like some combination. It wouldn't be just like this is Venom 3, this is Spider-Man 4. It's like the team up adventure, I guess. So I don't really know.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see whose perspective they take on that Spider-Man versus Venom. Spoiler for Venom too, but yeah, I think I could actually see them making Tom Hardy the main character. That'd be interesting if they do make Tom Hardy the focus and Peter be the supporting lead in that one.
That's so weird. I
That
mean,
would be super weird.
It's already weird that like they made the Venom movies without Spidey, but like now the thought of just like we got him, it's still Eddie. Like
we got that for a split second in Venom 2 post-credit scene where it's like
Yeah.
we're seeing Eddie's perspective of seeing Peter for the first time.
Keep in mind, AJ, that June date is explicitly a Sony Marvel date, not a Marvel Studios date.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we would not be getting Fantastic Four.
I think
Yeah.
I think Marvel did have like some later dates, and I think it's somewhere around 2024-ish that we'd be getting.
I could
Fantastic
see.
Four. I think they just started looking for like potential casting.
I could see this June one being because that's so soon. June 23rd, 2023 is soon. That means whatever this is has to be filming next year,
Right.
which means they have to be in production of it now or pre-production. So I think this could be Spider-Woman.
Okay.
Olivia
With,
Munn, Spider-Woman. Not Munn. Olivia Wilde. Spider-Woman. Yeah, and since Craven already has a release date, I don't know what else it could be.
I was looking at just Tom Holland's IMDb, and I was like, he doesn't have anything on the docket yet for his next. Because I mean, he just did a huge run with The Devil All the Time, Chaos Walking, Cherry, No Way Home, and Uncharted. Like all those movies were pretty much back to back. I'm assuming since they came out, so intermittent from each other all this year or last year. So I don't know what his next big outside project will be, because I don't think that's been announced yet.
Uncharted 2.
It could be. Could be.
Among Thieves.
Among Thieves.
Let's keep talking about the releases because then I do actually want to talk about that trailer.
Yeah. So I don't know what the June 23rd release date could be, but yeah, let's talk about those Marvel release dates. I don't have them on hand. Do you guys have them?
Oh.
Basically, everything just kind of shifted
One
into
slot,
each other's place.
yeah. I'll try to find it on my.
Here we go.
So now Doctor
Alright.
Strange is so funny. I was like, Doctor Strange moved to May, and I posted that photo of me crying in my theater leaving, and then Carson was just like, "It's fucking 5 weeks, Nathan."
So here it is. Doctor Strange.
I just post like a worse crying.
Doctor Strange is May 6th, 2022 now. Thor is July 8th.
July.
Which is so weird. Thor in July seems weird.
Taika Waititi.
Black Panther is now November 2022.
Could be good.
I'm glad that's there, actually.
Now there's only 3 movies next year. There's not instead of 4. We were going to get 4. Now there's just 3.
Yeah.
Arguably good.
Which will also have
agree.
how many shows? Three. We'll have.
Miss
Confirmed 3
Marvel,
shows.
She-Hulk, maybe Moon Knight.
Yeah, those confirmed 3 right there.
Yeah,
Secret
Still
Invasion
a
could
lot
slip
of
it at the
content.
end.
might be a little later. But yeah.
But the Marvels now goes from November 2022 to February 2023, which was where Ant-Man used to be. So Marvel.
That's crazy to me. Let's pause on that because
sure.
because originally they wanted to have Ms. Marvel come out semi in proximity to
The Marvels.
Captain Marvel. Yeah, the Marvels, because that was going to be the introduction of the character going into the big movie. So it's just interesting that these will probably end up being more spread out than intended.
Yeah, I mean,
Because it could be early next year where this show comes out, and then a full year before the movie team up thing comes out.
I
which is
think it
interesting.
works. It is weird, but I think it works because we've also kind of experienced that now with WandaVision, followed by
Yep.
Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness.
Very true.
Like that's a year and a half.
It was supposed to be
Yeah.
back to back.
And they're supposed to be back to back. So
Yeah, it will be good for the character to be out there for like a year, I guess. For
yeah, I wonder if that
everybody.
changes the script. If she's gonna be out there for a minute before Miss
I don't
Marvel.
know.
I don't know.
Get those post-credit scenes in.
I know, right? So Miss Marvel is February 2023. Ant-Man now moves to July 2023, which is weird to me
Makes
because
sense.
when that happened, I'm like, wait, what's in May 2023? But I think that's
Guardians.
but not Guardians. It hasn't
No,
been
James
confirmed.
Gunn said it.
Yeah,
Did
James
it-
said it didn't
James said
move,
it is.
and
Okay,
that
perfect.
they're getting ready to begin.
Shoot, yeah.
I didn't know Guardians was always going to be May 2023. I didn't know that was.
I think ever since
yeah.
he got back on and had the schedule for Suicide Squad, that was
Yeah.
like their
And
target date.
And they had in the like the official like date announcements of like back to the movies and Marvel.
Yeah.
And also I think 2022 is also still set for the holiday special.
Okay.
Yeah, when December 2022.
So we have Marvel's Guardians and Ant-Man. Ant-Man's July 28th. And
And
now
there's a untitled November date, I believe.
Yeah, so
Did they have some
the
dates
October date was
removed?
removed. October date is the only one that's removed.
Oh, not Marvel related, but Indie got pushed again a whole year.
Yeah,
Pain.
tragic.
Jesus, is it ever coming?
Harrison
Well,
Ford
they're
specifically,
shooting.
I'm like,
Yeah, he got injured. Remember, he got injured though, and then they had to
Yeah.
pause. And
I was
then-
watching-
This movie didn't it get announced like 2016? I heard,
earlier, I feel like.
earlier. Yeah.
but like it's gotten to the point like we've seen like on set. It looks like they're gonna de-age Harrison a little because they just have to.
I think for certain flashbacks.
I was
don't-
watching Blade
Yeah.
Runner 2049, and I'm like, this guy is old.
Yeah,
Like,
That was 2019.
and that was 20,
he's still kicking it.
2017 was Blade Runner.
2017 was played.
17, yeah.
And that's 5 years ago, and I'm like, I can't imagine this guy doing an action scene. I just can't.
You know,
I can't. Guys.
that
I can't.
running punch in Force Awakens.
I was borderline Crystal Skull when he's swinging from the rafters. I was like borderline, like okay.
Yeah, we were then just like, okay, dude. I can't see him. I don't. How is?
They're gonna pull it off. They're
How are
gonna
they
do
gonna
it.
pull it off?
A Hugh Jackman, he ain't.
Very true. Eating pasta all day. I know that for sure.
Oh
Pasta
god.
and chicken, was it? Pasta and chicken all day.
It's good, but I'd die.
I would die. I don't know how Hugh did it for 20 years.
Ta-
Man.
Wake up every day taking cold showers to get that Wolverine anger.
Oh my. Oh,
Hell, no wonder he doesn't want it anymore. He's done.
But yeah. So the untitled Marvel movie is now November 3rd, 2023. That's the one we don't know. So 2023, just to go over, we have the Marvels, Ant-Man, Guardians. That's 3, and now there's a 4th untitled one in
which
November.
I think my personal prediction is Blade, just because it seems like a
Okay.
correct timeline that they got a writer and they're gearing up towards it.
What's Mahershala doing? Is he just waiting?
Yeah, dude, he's just waiting.
Yeah, where's he been, man? He won that supporting actor Oscar and just chilled.
Yeah, and then
He won it for Green Book and was just like,
Green
all
Book
right.
and let's look at
I'm
his.
He
out.
was great in Green Book.
Yeah, definitely.
People hate Green Book, but he was great in it.
I don't hate Green Book. I just
I
like
do.
I didn't hate it as much as other people did.
I hate that it won. I don't.
Me too.
Hate itself.
It's a fine movie. I walked out being like, it's a fine movie. I don't like the message or
Sure.
it's a fine movie that felt dated.
True story or otherwise, it's like,
Yeah, it's just
But hey, you put Linda Cardellini in it. It's old.
Love me some Linda Cardellini.
Oh, he's in a movie with. He's gonna be in a movie with Julia Roberts coming up.
Where's Julia Roberts been?
Where's she been? Yeah.
Also, I mean, Mahershala's in. He's voicing the character in Invincible. I think.
Oh yeah, he's like the twins, the evil
Yeah.
twins, right?
I love that. I love
Invincible.
that he's in it. So he'll be back for season 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I love Invincible, man.
I can't. Nathan, please. Yeah.
Was that this
I know.
year?
Yeah. Can you believe it?
Holy
How long
shit.
ago that feels like?
Oh.
I feel like I've aged a Harrison Ford year since then.
Damn.
But anyways, you said Blade for November.
November 2023. I mean,
November.
what else on this? Unless it's a new project. I mean, I don't think it's Fantastic Four.
It would have to be Blade or Fantastic Four at this point, or Cap.
In what year?
2023. But how do you not release the Fantastic Four movie in 2024?
Exactly.
Seems like
they need to make that fucking logo.
My OCD would not like that.
Yes.
I'm typing in Fantastic Four 2024. If I have to type in Fantastic Four 2023 on my searches, it's gonna bug me.
Hell, I think the first Fantastic Four came out in 2004.
It did, I think.
Yeah.
Feige loves his anniversaries. Okay, yeah, I believe you guys.
Cut to a 2015 for Fan Force Day.
Great movie.
Just missed it.
I can't wait for that commentary. That's
I know. I can't wait to just do the whole Fox.
I like the first act. You know what? I'll say.
Me too.
Love the first act. It let me down so hard after that.
As soon as you start seeing the wig change.
Yep.
As soon as you see the sign 2 years later, you're like, oh no.
Oh.
Yeah, I always remember my brother and I were just like, this movie is not that bad. Why do people say about this movie? And then,
I was so pissed that like the flashback scene when like they literally fucking teleported shit. They teleported it, and the judge was like, "We're all looking for a magic show. This is science." Like, shut the fuck up! Get the fuck out of here. Hate this. No, my biggest problem ever was like the delivery of lines being too fast after one another. I was watching a scene Michael B. Jordan where like somebody like this
was that intentional too that they were they were trying to speed up the movie. Like genuinely they hated.
Really?
Oh
yeah,
God,
I
really?
read something that they were trying to speed up the movie, and that's why the edit feels.
About?
That's why the edit feels weird. Is because there's like 10 more minutes of fat that they like wanted to take out.
Dude, it was so weird. Somebody was like to Michael B. Jordan's character saying like the big opportunities you could be doing this thing, and like we could really use your help. And like he's just sitting there listening, and like as soon as he finished talking, he's like, "All right," and I'm just like, "No."
Yeah, go
this.
If we when we watch the movie, every pause is taken out. There's no beat. They don't let it beat into the scene because they're trying to cut out like every single second that they
Dr.
could.
Doom over here. I remember that line. I don't know why it wasn't just his name.
Yeah, they butchered that movie. They butchered it like.
Dr. Doom dressed in garbage bags.
That is the pinnacle of studio interference. That is the pinnacle.
Yeah. It sucks because that was a good cast.
So good,
man.
Until it wasn't.
All the Fox movies cast very well.
Yeah. Even like the lower X-Men films, I'm like, yeah, but fucking good cast for the young cast, man.
Ty Sheridan as Cyclops? Like,
I love it.
Fuck?
Sophie Turner, Jean Grey, I'm down.
Yeah. Man. They gotta bring Ty back. I love Ty.
I do too.
He's a perfect Cyclops, man.
Pretty much the whole cast of X-Men Apocalypse. I was like, hell yeah,
me too.
And god damn it, they had like the comic accurate costumes by the end, and then Dark Phoenix, they don't have them. Fuck.
Yeah, and then she like slaps him to the side. Remember when she's like in that neighborhood?
Oh, they fucking. Wow. I don't know why out of nowhere they decided like, yeah, let's nerf Quicksilver. Let's just take out our favorite character. Let's just take him out.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he gets stabbed in the leg of all freaking places.
No, it wasn't even that. He was running up steps, and Jean like moved the steps, and he just free fell.
Yeah, and then he like, got stabbed by wood. Like it was.
Oh god.
It was like a piece of a deck that just went into his leg.
Motherfucker keeps getting like knocked down. He already had a brace at the end of Apocalypse. Like,
somebody should be at Fox. Be like, can we have the character of Jean Grey without mentioning the words Dark and Phoenix?
Dude,
it's funny because like
I don't scene where they pull him out of the wheelchair. I'm just like,
where they force him to walk up the steps.
Yeah,
I watched Dark Phoenix once.
Yeah, me too.
No, honestly, it was funny. I didn't even like
the train scene was cool.
Yeah, I didn't hate Dark Phoenix. I was just like, I was like, this doesn't feel like the finale they're trying to make it.
They wanted to do, yeah.
The finale, and like
we got some Dark Knight Rises stuff on the end. They're like sitting
with the chest.
Which no, but it was fucking weird because they had like the Phoenix Force like flying in there. I'm like, okay, and they named the school after Jean. I was like, that doesn't fit the continuity.
No,
okay.
not at all.
It's weird because like even like Apocalypse, like I have fun with Apocalypse. I really do. But like Like, something's
Poor
wrong.
Olivia Munn in that movie. Ooh.
I'm sitting there in Dolby. My seat
She
wasn't
did
working.
nothing, yeah.
It was hot in there. It was bad.
Oscar Isaac's in like makeup and just frowning the entire time.
But even so, I was having fun.
But that Magneto scene, though.
Oh,
in the
Magneto's always
forest, it was
great.
all worth it for that one.
All worth it.
That was
man.
maximum pain right there.
I miss my boy Michael Fassbender, man. Where
The
fuck
best.
is he?
Hey, he's gonna be in the
David
David
Fincher.
Fincher.
Let's
the
go.
Killer. I mean, come on.
Damn, that's good.
Man,
This is the most
Yeah.
lively our show has ever been. What the fuck?
I know. I think we're done with the release dates. Let's talk about those weird trailers we had this week. Back to back.
Do we dare watch the Uncharted?
No, I don't want to give it the view.
You don't have the. You don't want to give it the view. You don't want to copyright the
It's not
stream?
loading, Nathan. It's not loading. My internet's
Hey,
not.
I don't want to get copyrighted anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, good.
All right. So who goes
man.
first?
So
Because I feel like I'm on a different level.
Yeah, okay.
I'm on a new level.
I'm on a new level.
Okay, let Nathan go first. Let Nathan go
had
first
that
because he's
song,
the
I would
fresh.
like it.
Nathan's the freshest with the games because he's on Uncharted 3 now. So I want to hear
Yeah. So
your take.
in Uncharted 3, I just played through the flashback where Sully and Nate met.
Oh, great scene.
Great
Good
thing.
stuff, which is funny. I talked all this shit. They're just like, "Are they doing young Nate?" And I played young Nate. And I was like, "I see." Also, I also just recently bought the Lost Legacy. It's not that at all.
Nice.
You're in
Lined
the
up for me.
museum. You're tracking Sully, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that running from that scene is so cool, and you're like on top of the.
Oh, I lost a couple times. I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah, it's like,
right.
oh, like,
And then it got to the rooftops. I was like, "I'm really guessing where I gotta jump."
and it's like that like big exaggerated Nathan Drake jump where it's like.
Where it's like he's not gonna make this jump, but the game is just like. But then, like, there were some jumps where I was like, you have to, like, jump on the edge or you're not making it.
edge, or you're not making it.
All these agents, god damn it!
I'm trying to
You're on the
Yeah.
run, so no one like is calling for you. Really, it's like just the agent be like, "Oh, he's dead."
Yeah,
So you're still early in the game then for Uncharted 3, right, Nathan?
yeah, maybe like on chapter 4.
Yeah.
I just woke up in the alley. It was a ruse. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I was like, how the fuck are we getting out of this shot?
Oh yeah, you meet that one guy in London. What's his name? Cutter?
I think so. The bald guy.
The bald guy, Cutter, and Sully are there too. I love that scene.
Yeah.
Uncharted 3. So I'm about to start Uncharted 2 on Brutal tonight, so I'm excited for that one.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. So am I supposed to be meeting Nate's brother that I didn't know existed in this game?
I'm not gonna say.
Well, fucking
We'll
Twitter
find
said Twitter said something. Maybe even you did in response to a line from the trailer.
Actually,
Sam?
no. So Sam's in 4, not 3.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say. Wait, actually, yeah,
It's funny because
it's not a spoiler.
I heard that and I know the third game's called Drake's Deception. I was like, oh, is it fucking Sam Drake? I don't.
Yeah. Drake's Deception. Who's lying to him in that movie? In the game. Not my favorite title, but it's fine.
So,
But,
am
yeah,
I
you're
understand? Am I to understand the plane sequences in 3?
Yes.
Cool.
Mhm.
I remember seeing that when they marketed the game, the trailer. I'm like, oh my god, that's gonna be an awesome level.
I swear to God, I swear to God, there was one day where like Carson was telling me the fun he had playing the plane sequence, but he said it for Uncharted 2. So I'm playing Uncharted 2 the whole time, and I'm like, where the fuck is this plane? And then where the fuck is the plane? Swear to God, this damn island, I'm jumping from jeep to jeep.
But I think
really
the
funny.
train sequence in Uncharted 2 is still my favorite Uncharted sequence in the entire
Yeah.
franchise.
It's pretty damn good.
I love it. It's
Yeah,
so good.
you gotta like dodge those fucking.
You guys are gonna get me
birds.
replaying this, even though I literally am like midway through The Last of Us after like.
Can you
6
play
months.
Spider-Man?
Hey, The Last of Us!
Can you play Spider-Man as
Well, I
well?
haven't beat. I'm still on the first level of Spider-Man. I'm like in the elevator. Like,
You got farther watching my janky ass stream.
I did.
Wait, the 2018 Spider-Man?
Yes.
Wow.
I'm so bad with
What?
video games.
Nathan, I
I'm
mean, yeah,
the worst.
Carson is just bad at video games. I didn't know this.
I'm not bad at video games. I'm bad at fishing.
Who's that
and
Jimmy
committing to
Neutron
video
villain
games.
who can't finish anything?
I love that guy.
But it's
miss
funny
you,
because I
man.
think I finished Ghost of Tsushima before any of you, which was funny. I was like, I was
Motherfucker!
like,
How did you do that? Did you do any side missions?
Yeah, I was like invested in everything. I was just like going around.
I didn't.
Like,
I was like, I want the fucking. I'm here for the game, but I did stuff later. I
Here
stopped
for the
that.
game.
I'm here for the game. I'm here for the story. I mean, but no, I still need a 100%. I need to get the fucking expansion.
I 100% the expansion. I 100% the
A cup of tea.
Yeah. Anyways,
Game division.
So Uncharted trailer. Nathan, thoughts?
I didn't hate it.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I'm such a fucking optimist. It's weird. I woke up.
You are.
And I woke up. I was like, "Oh fuck, a trailer dropped." And I was sitting here. I was like, "Do I make a video?" Turn on the rotation on my phone. And I decided to watch it. And I'm watching. I'm just like, okay, I like Tom. I'm a big fan of Mark Wahlberg, but we're here. I'm like watching. And
Someone said there's a tweet after Mark Wahlberg's gonna earn the mustache, like some kind of trophy by the end of the movie. And get a post credits mustache.
Remember his photo
100%.
his photo for Rappa filming was the stash and the fucking shirt.
From
like,
3.
I don't think he has it throughout.
That was the picture that someone tweeted out, and they're like, "He's gonna earn it like some sort of accolade."
No, I remember we called it because video game movies have the same fucking formula where at the end of the movie they're gonna tease us with a better movie. So at the end of the movie, it's gonna be it's gonna be Tom and Sully
even
looking at each other. He has a mustache. He's a kid. He want to go on an adventure. He's like, oh my gosh, come see our sequel.
Now that I think about it, even Mortal Kombat was just like, oh, the tournament. We didn't get the tournament. It's coming.
Every video game movie is a prequel to the actual video game movie you wanted to see. It's terrible.
I had said to Evan before, and like it's a big stance. Like every time I think when you adapt a video game, it should be like a series. It shouldn't just be limited to a movie because it's too much material to adapt at once.
Too much. Yeah. I can't think of it. I'll be hard pressed to find one where it's like, oh, this can be a movie instead of a series.
Right.
I heard good enough things about Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah, Tomb Raider. I like Tomb Raider because it was based off of the 2010, I think, 2009, whatever, 2013 actually. 2013.
It also tries to contain
Tomb Raider
itself,
game.
and it doesn't try to like just expand all the lore all at once. It just contains itself at first. And
she's on an island the entire movie, just like the video game. She was on the entire. She was on the island the entire movie, and then at the end, it does tease you with like she's holding 2 guns. It's very goofy. Yeah. It's like this is the Tomb Raider you really want to see, but. They are making a sequel.
We got Misha Green. Misha Green.
I'm excited to see that. But okay, so the Uncharted trailer for me, it just looks very generic. Like not a bad trailer, but it's a trailer that I can definitely see. Like this is a video game movie trailer that's probably not going to be good.
Oh, I didn't finish my point.
Oh yeah, continue.
Sorry,
continue your optimistic thoughts before I go into deep.
Please, but yeah, no, like it was going, and I was like, okay, treasure. Was that Chloe in the trailer?
I have no fucking clue who that was.
Because also the way they were set up, it seemed like she knew Sully but not Nate, and I was like, is that how it goes?
Not at all.
Right, but yeah, I was like going through it. I was like, hey, the ring. I was like, okay, it's going through, and they're just like set up like it's an adventure, and I'm like, okay, cool, that's cool enough, all right. But I wasn't even like getting much of the vibe of the action. I was like, okay, until they started doing the plane thing, and then when I see him fucking like leaping crates, I'm like, fuck, I just played this. And I was like, I got excited, and then I started like walking like, all right, I'm feeling it, and he's doing like fucking, oh crap, the very traditional tagline of Nathan Drake, and I'm just like, hey, I'm feeling it. I was having fun enough. By the end, I was like, hey, man.
It's a movie.
They said, it's a movie. They said it was going to be supposedly like a young Nate. As Evan said, it's like the origin film. Probably the one you want to see, you said.
Yeah, it's probably an origin film, but also this isn't going to be like, hey, this is an origin film of something like prior to the video games, right? Like this isn't going to be like, hey, come see our movie, then you can play the game. But no, it seems like it's an origin movie mixed in with bits and pieces from every single Uncharted game. Like, oh, here's the like when he rises from the water and you see the ship in the distance. That's straight out of Uncharted 4. When he's flying out of the helicopter or flying out of the airplane, that's Uncharted 3. A lot of this is Uncharted 3 actually.
Oh wow.
And then like him meeting Sully, I guess that's why it's Uncharted 3 like. But and then I don't see much from Uncharted 2 or Uncharted 1, but it just looks very cookie cutter. Hey, this is an Uncharted game. We're going to fill it with references to things you like, even though our plot's probably going to be very basic. The action looks decent enough. Like, it doesn't seem like anything unique in terms of action.
Fleischner.
Yeah, it's Ruben Fleischer action.
I was shocked to see was that who's directing it?
Yeah,
I thought so.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was shocked to see like there's straight up like a PlayStation company logo. Like, working on this film.
Studios.
PlayStation Studios, the people
which arguably would normally, which logically should give me more hope, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like, I just saw Tom playing Spider-Man in this. Like,
really,
I didn't get any Nathan Drake from him.
Well, it's funny. Like every time I see Tom outside of anything not Spider-Man, I'm like, okay, it's Tom doing something that is.
I gotta admit, yeah, I'm not the biggest Tom outside of Spider-Man. Like, I think Wade.
He was great in The Devil All the Time.
Wade?
He was so good in that movie. I'm telling you.
I do like him a lot.
I actually have to see that movie.
He actually is like a character. He's different, way different in that, and like his actual embodies.
I think it's what they were marketing him to be for Cherry. Ultimately,
I heard that was bad.
In the positive way for.
He was in that one movie with Ewan McGregor and Naomi. I forget her name now.
Harris.
Watts. I was the blonde one, but the one where they're in Thailand and the tsunami comes in. Do you guys remember what that's called? Remember, it's a famous tsunami movie where they all get.
Oh yeah, it's directed by Jay Bayona, I think.
Yes.
Right? Oh.
Yeah, it's
my favorite director, Jay Bayona.
Wave or something or
Tom Holland Wave movie, but
all right.
The Current War.
What the fuck? I actually like Tom enough in The Current War. He's a very minimal role.
There we go.
Tom has a very minimal role.
Yep.
Tom has a very minimal role in The Current War, but I liked him. It's mostly Benedict's film.
Yeah, it just for me, it just felt very gimmicky to me. Like I didn't believe him as Nate. The pacing of the movie feels like it's going to be a fast-paced video game movie.
I will say the editing was a choice. Yeah. I probably would have cut it better.
It just doesn't seem like they're taking it
seriously. Like for how grand the Uncharted series is in terms of like globetrotting, it didn't feel globetrotting. It felt like
the vibe I got from the trailer was like a trailer you get in early 2010s DVD.
Yes.
Pre-menu.
Yes. You are so right on that. And
it's like, get now on TV and Blu-ray.
Like there was no they didn't even try to sell it as like taking itself seriously. Even like it just felt like it was there. Like they were just kind of going through the motion. I don't know what the tone just seems off to me compared to what Uncharted 1. Okay. And like.
And that's what I said to him. Like it felt like they're talking about like the adventure of it all. It felt like the tagline, not the tagline, but the purpose was, I want to make an adventure film with Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg.
And it seems like they're making kind of more of a buddy comedy, like.
Yeah, like Uncharted is about Sully and Nate, but it's the heart of it for me. It was like Nathan and Elena, and Elena's gone from here. I know they're doing a prequel, and Elena's.
They're gonna like. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna like finish the adventure, and it's gonna be like some big event that's like, oh, we got the news report, and there's Elena.
You know they are.
And then come back next time for when
come back next time for a better character and a better movie because Elena, like
it's Zendaya. Zendaya's
Elena. No. The Day of Blonde. I'd be like, choice.
I don't know if you're for it or not. After that, I can't read you.
Am I happy? Am I happy, Bob?
Am I happy? Be in the theater. Am I happy?
Oh shit!
That's so funny.
I killed Nathan. That was too good.
You know, that's what they're going to do. That's the kind of movie this is.
Die.
It's not going to take itself seriously at all.
So
I have to know that going in. But hey, Antonio Banderas, awesome,
Great choice for a villain.
great
Yeah.
choice.
I think what's funny, like I'm watching it. I'm like, I can go in and I can buy Tom Holland for Nate enough. I can't place Mark
Sully,
Wahlberg
yeah.
at Sully at all. Like, god damn it! Like, I guess the look enough, but like, it's not the voice. It's Mark Wahlberg.
Because
It's not
I don't hate Mark. Mark's good in a lot of other movies when he plays
he
the
is
right
a good
character.
actor. Yeah.
Yeah, but in a movie like Uncharted, it just feels so out of place for the guy. Like I was talking to Carson, I don't know where, but it was like Lone Survivor, good Mark Wahlberg performance. Deepwater Horizon, good Mark Wahlberg performance. But it's just like when he's playing these gimmicky characters, I'm like, ugh. And Sully's not a gimmicky character, but just for him embodying Sully, I just don't believe it.
It's framed like that. Yeah.
It's framed like that, yeah. So that's a bad trailer. But there's an even worse trailer this week, guys.
Yeah.
It's called Red Notice.
I didn't see it.
Bad.
Like,
Laughably bad.
Or did I?
Like, if these three weren't attached to this movie, I don't think this script would have been greenlit.
Oh, that's the one with the Rock and...
Yeah. It's the most Netflix has ever spent on an original movie before.
What?
And it's supposed to be like their biggest like adventure thing yet. And it just looks like those three just standing in a room doing improv.
Oh, it is 1,000,000% the paycheck movie. It's not.
Yeah.
But it's like Ryan Reynolds is saying stuff that I'm just like, dude, you are not funny right now to me.
What does he say? I don't know.
He's cracking jokes at The Rock the entire time.
At The Rock, and like The Rock is like not like playing off it like a Hobbs. He's just kind of like
Anyway.
No, and there's a scene like it's just they're making Ryan into the laughable, funny guy who can't do anything kind of.
And it's like literally a jailbreak scene like Hobbs and Shaw, but like it's not energetic whatsoever. Like it's just very weird.
Like Ryan playing the same character. Like there's a scene where they confront Gal Gadot's character, and The Rock bashes a glass case and gets a spear. Ryan tries to do the same thing. He's like, my arm. I'm like, oh my god, I'm the weaker one compared to The Rock. I'm like,
and then you know what? We saw the full clip of that scene at
it's not good.
Netflix.
Ta-dum.
So let's all say it in unison. 1, 2, 3.
Ta-dum. But the choreography and editing in that scene is so bad. Like it cut like every 2 seconds.
It did. You can tell these aren't like they didn't train for this.
It feels like a movie that they shot on their break from another movie. If that makes any sense, like it feels like it was scheduled on the break of another set for all three of them.
Yeah. It makes me think of the equivalent of like in Spy Kids 3. Out of nowhere, fucking surprise, Elijah Wood's here on his lunch break from Lord of the Rings at the same time. Swear to God. And they kill him off instant.
Wow, really?
Have you seen Spy Kids 3?
I don't remember
tons of times. I don't remember that scene.
And he's the guy, and like he gets like knocked out of nowhere, and his fucking 99 lives drop to like fucking
it's
0
in the silver suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Okay,
what the fuck?
yeah,
What? I don't even understand this fucking logic. He got one hit.
I didn't know that was him. Okay.
But yeah, he's also you can also find him in Back to the Future Part 2, in the future.
Wow.
But anyways, it's just interesting in this whole conversation of like Netflix movies catching the zeitgeist like theater movies, and I just don't think this is going to catch on.
I remember
Not
when Netflix like first launched and they were making original movies, and like at the time it was like they just keep making bangers. Like it's like the A24 effect. Like when they first started, it was like it's like they're a real hit, and then they start going more, and you're like.
It was weird because that and Amazon Studios had the same thing where they started with Beasts of No Nation. We're like, oh, okay, this is interesting. And then they had another drama. I'm like, oh, yo, this is getting good. Same thing for Amazon Studios. They had the one with Casey Affleck. I forget what it's called now.
Manchester by the Sea?
Manchester by the Sea. Unbelievable movie. But love it. But then they had The Big Stick with Camille Nanjiani. I'm like, okay, these are good dramas. And now it's like Netflix and Amazon are like, you know what? Let's just do action movies. Action. And they're just not.
So whatever gets the most watch minutes of.
Was
stuff
that
like,
Yep.
Was that movie with Timothée Chalamet and Steve Carell any good?
Beautiful Boy? I haven't watched it.
Beautiful Boy? Was
that an Amazon original?
Yes. And it's
was, yeah.
excellent.
Yeah.
Really?
Loved
I
it.
gotta watch it.
My girl, Caitlin Dever, is in
also in that movie. Yeah,
She plays his sister.
that's right.
I cried in that movie, man. I saw that in theaters. It broke me. I'm like, this movie is.
High praise from Evan.
What was
I
was like, what is Timothy coming like right off of for the popularity? I think it was coming right off of Call Me by Your Name.
Yeah, pretty much.
Speaking of Timothy, my dad whispered to me after the movie. He was like, "So what movies has Timothy Chalamet been in?" And it's one of those things where somebody who doesn't watch as many films as you ask me what movies he's been in. I'm like, what movies have you seen that he's been in?
Yeah, like, and you're like,
he was in Little Women.
Interstellar.
Barely.
Yeah, he's in Interstellar.
Yeah.
He's young Casey.
My dad would not know that one.
Yeah.
I forgot that. But I was like, he was in, I was going to say Beautiful Boy, Call Me By Your Name.
Right, and you're like, oh, Dad, you don't know those movies.
My dad's like, the gay movie? I was like, yes, Dad.
That gay one?
My dad did not want to see that movie when it came out. But I told him it was a good movie. I think he watched it eventually. But
Call Me By Your Name?
Yeah. But I kept telling everybody it's a good movie.
Does he actually say it's like the gay movie?
Yeah.
Our parents.
I know my parents are. I love them. But Timothy hasn't been in a lot of things that I can say like, oh, he was in Lady Bird or stuff like that. But
he's an
Dune was really the first massive thing. I mean, leading, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think
he's been Oscar nominated a couple times.
The French Dispatch.
He's been in The French Dispatch.
But that's like, oh yes, that one.
The one that just came out.
Yeah.
I want to
see. Red Notice, not a good movie. Trailer.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. How do we get to
the best trailer of that day? Was Ambulance, and I was shocked. I was.
Ambulance strip, pretty good.
Pretty good. They showed a lot of the movie. I saw the whole movie.
And the trope was weird because
I don't know how they're getting out of it.
Like they have the person that
we saw like, oh, the hostage is escaping. Come back here.
They have like who do they have? They have the police officer or somebody they shot in the ambulance, and they had to take care of them while escaping in the ambulance. But that was interesting.
And then also like the lady who they have hostage essentially trying to escape too.
I think Gonzalez.
Yeah. Who from
Godzilla.
Baby Driver? Oh yeah, I was gonna say fucking Baby.
Are they gonna kill her off unceremoniously again?
Probably.
I think she also was briefly in Hobbs and Shaw, right?
Whoa.
Yeah,
no. She is.
Yeah.
As who? Where?
We did the commentary. She's the person isn't she the one in Russia?
I don't know if it was Russia. Somewhere with like the
Siberia?
connections and they get
the connections.
Yeah,
remember?
I think it was like something like on their way to either getting kidnapped or going to the Rock's home.
That's gonna bug me now.
She's on the poster. One of them kissed her. I think it was probably Statham.
I thought I was gonna say The Rock.
No, The Rock had that kiss with the.
Oh yeah,
with
Vanessa Kirby.
Vanessa Kirby, what an actress!
What a picture.
Where's she been?
She just did
How's the show?
Oh wait, she was in that pregnant movie last year, which wasn't that good.
She's gonna be in a Mission
Wasn't she in that movie
8?
with She was in that movie with Catherine Waters.
Or 7? Right, she's gonna be in MI7.
Another gay movie, right, Nathan?
Yes. Gay cinema.
Gay cinema.
Is she in MI7? Am I going crazy?
She is.
Was she? Yeah.
Is that the same actress? Are you sure?
Yes. 100%.
I was like trying so hard to differentiate. It was like
the White Widow. Do you don't remember her?
No, I know. I know. I'm just saying, like when I first saw it, I was like, "Is it Vanessa Kirby, or is it that lady that was in Guardians 2?"
Because it is that shot where it's the spotlight of her like in the bar and across it, and then she's like talking, and then you don't really see her until Tom goes all the way up there.
Yeah, no, I know the character. I just mean like I couldn't lock on which actress.
It's a great movie.
Those commentaries.
Oh man, I can't wait. Favorite franchise of all time. Great.
Wow.
It's great. It is great.
Speaking of great, are we there yet? Are we at the time? Is it time?
It is time to discuss. There was a release date change. No.
In Star Wars, Hayden's back.
Yeah.
This is a different thing. Something that inspired Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars be stealing. Little Gremlins at George Lucas Incorporated.
Yes. Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship of the Ring is a 2001 film directed by Peter Jackson.
No,
and
stop.
But it's time for Dune.
Dunk. Sorry.
Dunkachino.
All right, Mount.
What was I gonna? I'm honestly, I told myself that I was gonna listen to both your reactions first because, like I just like want to pick up on what like you guys picked up on the story because I just have a different perspective because I've read the thing, and it's different because Nathan particularly had different experience because at first he's like, oh, it's pretty good, and then he went back and he's like, oh, actually it's in my top 4, and I was like, dang, like I did not expect like that jump.
Nathan's
So I
only
want to
seen
hear
5
about
movies,
that.
So.
He is not. He's seen like 40.
40?
Roughly?
Are you?
Mine's at 40. I think mine's at 42.
Let me look. My phone could be
I don't know why he
faster.
doesn't think that was a
No,
lot.
8%.
I have like 66.
Well, damn.
Edgar's at like.
Oh, I'm
what,
at 41.
I am at 44.
Wow.
Oh yeah, see.
Cars, did you lose it to Nathan?
What is that supposed to?
Hey, what the fuck does that mean? Got something to say?
Yes, he's not many movies.
All right. Well, fucking
Yeah,
That
scroll,
was
bitch.
such a short list. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so embarrassed.
That didn't really work out the way you expected.
Oh.
He like was turning to look at it while it was still scrolling, and then it was at the end. Oh god.
Okay.
I'm
Anyway,
losing it.
Oh, this is great. Dude.
my response. All right. Dune is a film. It's good. Which is initially how I was gonna come into it at, and Carson would be like, "Oh, you bitch!" Like, first the Suicide. Joshua was even like, "The first the Suicide Squad, now this." And I'm like, "All right, I've had it." Yeah, no, I watched Dune.
My thing's got a map of Arrakis in the back of it. I didn't realize. It's pretty cool.
Ooh, I need that. Take a
Has
picture
like
of that
Shield
shit.
Wall on it, CH Tabar,
Ooh.
all these different places. Let's get that out of the way.
It looks like you're holding.
CH. It is not Siege. This movie is the one thing that betrayed me on.
Carson,
The
where'd you get
audiobook?
Nathan? Carson, where'd you get Nathan Drake's journal?
Dude, I know. It does like it's like this is an old paperback. But anyways, when they started saying Siege in the movie, Jason Momoa comes up. He's like, "Yeah, they live in a siege," and I'm like, "No."
But first of all, who says CH?
Twi'lek, fucking.
Huh?
Who says CH? Is that confirmed?
Oh, in the audiobook. In the audiobook from like 2006 or something.
Well,
They
who said
pronounce
he's
it-
right?
I don't know. Who said he's right?
It's just
Huh?
the first thing you hear. I
Who
guess.
said the person saying the audiobook is right?
Well, it's got to be right if they pronounce it in the audiobook.
No, because any fucking Star Wars audiobook, I
every
will
Star
pull
Wars
you.
audiobook-
They're like Twi'lek, fucking.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I like
You know
Matthew Wood or whoever does the audiobooks, but it's like he says something is wrong all the time.
This is like the same instance that me and my sister have a problem of being like, she's like, "Oh, I hate this version of the song," and I was like, "I quite like it." It's like,
Okay,
it's 'cause
tell
the
me what
first one you
sounds
heard.
better though. CH sounds like a cool sci-fi thing, and Siege sounds like a Pokemon like pooping or something. Like
No, don't use that example. Shut up. I'm just trying to. I think
I'm
Siege,
firing Denis Villeneuve from this movie.
Siege,
Anyways.
Siege sounds like siege, which is like an attack, and I think it's badass.
You know what?
Yeah,
You're gonna
there's an
keep-
interview where he talks about this exactly. He's like,
Carson, I'm trying to
France,
piss
they
you
call
off
it
in
siege.
different ways.
Okay.
We're focusing
continue.
too much.
Continue.
I gotta piss you off in different ways.
Okay.
Yeah, man, I watched it and like I'm going through, and immediately I was like, "Oh, no foreplay from Hans Zimmer. I see. We're right in it."
Yes.
Literal words I spoke. And like we're going through, and I'm like, okay, I'm really intrigued by what's going on. I really like the worlds being set up. I love when Denis gets me fucking rain and it's gloomy. It's my favorite. Normally that just like instantly gives you at least 3 stars on my list. But that it keeps going. I was just like, all right, dense. We're going through in a good way. Like they're setting up a lot of different things, and they're like, all right, cool. A lot of desert. It's not overly visually appealing.
Oh
Wow.
wow!
I like the look of the desert, but then I'm just like, desert.
From the first shot, my dude.
No, yeah, no. Like at the start, I'm like, hell yeah. But then when you're on Arrakis for a while, you're like,
yeah,
it's a desert.
I mean, it's purposely supposed.
I know it.
Barren, like
let him
them.
continue, Carson.
Sorry.
Yeah, let me dig my grave.
Carson's over here like.
No, I'm looking up how to pronounce it.
Oh, of course you are.
Look at how to fucking kill someone through his Zoom call.
Reddit's gonna back me up right now.
Of course.
See, Nathan, it's supposed to be Sandy.
Oh, this website has audio excerpts from readings he did when he was still alive. So I'm gonna give you the official.
Yeah, according to Booty Warrior 69, it's pronounced.
It's gonna be like,
According to Planetologist.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, what is it? Okay, it's pronounced Stardakar. For the warriors in those white suits that are creepy.
Yeah. The Emperor's soldiers.
The Emperor's soldiers.
brutal.
That delivery is
brutal.
They're brutal.
Okay, continue. I gotta find what this is.
Josh Brolin can do no wrong, man.
So good.
Continue, Nathan.
Know your steps anywhere, old man. So good. I'm quoting it already. I like it. But okay, so when I got through my first viewing, I was like, solid. I really like this. I really hope this does well. I had like a couple thoughts. Number one is I was worried how general audiences were going to feel, like how they might feel on my first viewing, which essentially was there's a lot of cool shit. But also, I judge okay, this is actually separate from general. I judge things very like empathetically, and I didn't feel as much heart in this film on my first viewing as I would normally other films, which is why I was like scared. I was like, "Fuck, is this good? Am I gonna get eaten alive by the group chat if I like put Dune like the mid tier of my list? Like, oh god, like it's like next to Jungle Cruise or something."
Behind Free Guy.
I was actually considering like if I play this, it might be number 5, right below Free Guy. And I was like, damn, I'm gonna get so much fucking hassle for this. As I didn't even rank it at all. I was just like, I'm not gonna. No.
Stuckman.
Yeah, I was literally New Age Stuckman. I was like, I'm just gonna wait. I did put a letterbox review, put a smiley face. No, left. I left. And then yeah, I was like worried. I was like, I wonder how general audiences are really gonna feel like about this, because it is like a very like long pace, dense film that's only like a first half, and I just wonder like, will general audiences like really be excited about this? Cut to my screening following day in IMAX, of which my audience, I tweeted this, my audience straight up applauded and cheered. And by the end, I was like, really? I was like, hell yeah. But also while I watched it, I was like, not just because I was like, damn, that IMAX is like doing wonders. It was, I was like, all right, I'm linking in more. And, you know, initially my first viewing, I was like, outside of the tent scene, I wasn't like too engrossed emotionally that much. But then watching it again, I'm like, damn, Lady Jessica's really fucking worried about her son, and like I'm seeing it. Rebecca Ferguson was easily the best performance, I think, especially emotionally. And then yeah, I think the best scene is the tent scene between her and Paul. Like when he just like lashes out of just like what he is and what he's like meant to be, like the burden of like the chosen one. It is very deep. I mean, hell, even my first viewing, I welled up on that scene. I didn't the second time because, I went through it. But I respected the film a hell of a lot more going through. Like, obviously, it looks gorgeous. I got like further, deeper like comprehension of everything going on. I was really enthralled by like the stuff with the witches. I was like, damn, wish I could get like more of them.
Bene Gesserits.
Yeah, and then I also found out Bene Gesserits, yes, and I also found out that they're going to be the topics of like the spin-off series. And I'm like,
yeah, the prequel series.
Goddamn! All right, I'm sold. So it was definitely interesting to go through, and once I also got like a lock on like the different characters and how things progress, I remembered the tooth.
Yeah, dude. Quick interjection about the Bene Gesserit, which makes this all the more tragic is like you hear them several times. Jessica talking about like, oh, the Bene Gesserit have been here interfering on this planet, meaning that. And you also hear the Reverend Mother that comes to Caladan say, our plan. I look at our plans in centuries, not whatever. So they're very
Very
longing.
intriguing line.
So quite literally, they are seeding these like worshiping savior chosen one vibes to populations to pass down. So when they do get somebody that is a chosen one and can basically unlock all these things with their mind, that they'll get in position so people will worship them, and then that will give them power. And it's like all that thing was seeded not just with Paul's existence, but just centuries back of like them doing their bidding on these planets and trying to like, seed this thing of like, oh, there's gonna be someone eventually when we get it, like
that was interesting.
It's crazy.
One of the main questions I had before I go into my review was that the Bene Gesserit it didn't seem, at least the head mother didn't seem happy that Paul might be this figure that Jessica was talking about. Yeah. But then at the same time, they seeded like chosen one vibes on Arrakis. I'm like, do they want Paul to be this figure, or they just accepted it?
It's kind of a little bit of both, because she says in the film that you were supposed to only bear daughters.
Yeah. Was that because they knew if he was a son, he'd have the duty of like leading?
He inherits too much power.
Yeah. Not only that, but all the Bene Gesserits are female, I believe.
Yes. So
and so there's that whole. Yeah, it's that whole
if
thing.
Female, it vibes more with you or something.
Yeah, I can't remember the specific. There's a lore explanation for it of why they're all.
That's what I figured too. I figured like when she said that, it was like, oh, because if he was a woman, then he would be able to harness the powers better.
Yeah, basically, and it's cool because you see we don't really get the full potential of even Jessica's powers here. They can like. Not only the voice, but they are so in tune with their body. Like, I don't know if you caught, like, when she was like worried for him in the other room, they can literally alter their like heart rates to like calm themselves down. Like, that's how in tune they are with their body. And we'll get a lot more of that in part 2. But it's like they literally have so much control over their body. They can like do these things to like literally calm themselves, to trick themselves out of literal physical pain. They can make it so they don't feel the pain, like stuff like that. Like
was Paul using that in the scene with his hand, the box scene? Do you think he was using that, or that was just Paul's?
I think he was using it. He was using it to calm his fear, like when she was kind of reciting that thing, like fear is the mind killer. Like she was trying to calm down, and he was kind of taking off what he learned from her and trying to calm himself down.
I thought he was being distracted by a vision or something.
No, he was at that point. He was still just trying to be defiant towards her, I think.
Yeah. When he got that face, he was like, "Yeah, I did it."
Yeah.
He immediately was just like, "No, fuck."
But for me, overall, I adored this movie. Like, this is the kind of sci-fi I love. It's the same reaction I had when I left Blade Runner 2049. Both films I don't really cry in. I wasn't really. I think during my initial experience, I was obviously more emotionally invested in Blade Runner because of Kay's arc in that movie. Didn't really cry in Blade Runner. I haven't really cried in a lot of Denis films outside of Arrival. Just Arrival. But
Jeremy Renner comes in.
When I hear On the Nature of Daylight, it's like, oh, my tears are just coming out of nowhere. It's crazy. But
I too cry when Jeremy Renner asks if I want to make a baby.
I mean, it is an emotional scene. But for me, for Dune, I'm always trying to look at, because I heard those criticisms going into the movie. I wish I didn't, but I did hear that criticism, like, oh, it's a soulless movie. And I always try and look, not from you, Nathan, but just from other news outlets.
Why say soulless?
Exactly. No, I think it was from Collider. One of the people said it was soulless.
Then the Collider quote I shared said, "It's the Star Wars Lord of the Rings."
I don't know who said it at Collider. It might have been. I don't want to call people out. Anyways,
Carla.
I always try to look at like what is like the most intriguing aspect of this movie, because I know it's gonna be part 1 for me. And for me, I fell in love with Paul's arc in this movie very early on. I was like, Paul is a very relatable character in terms of like his responsibilities, what he's going through, and just like the trope that I've seen before. I love the kind of like chosen one, but responsibility, and he's not really the chosen. It's a play on it. And it's
He's
very
been sheltered and
interesting.
protected. He doesn't have friends. Notice how his only people that he talks to are Duncan, Idaho, and Thufir. Like,
Yeah,
he's been groomed into be protected to be the next leader of House Atreides.
Yeah,
you know?
his best friends are older figures.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which
even
is
when,
a lot.
even when his dad's like, even if not, it's okay. But then he was also like,
Oh,
give it a try though.
and yeah, like I said in my tweet, the best thing about this movie are Paul's arc and the performances of the supporting actors and actresses. Jessica and Paul's scenes are phenomenal. I love a lot of their scenes together, especially in the second half of this movie. The tent scene, when they're on the run together, is just so riveting. But also early on, just man, I feel like every scene was my favorite scenes, especially revisiting this.
So interesting enough, those
Yeah.
early scenes are pre-book. Those aren't. There's like
Whoa.
about 3 scenes in the beginning of the movie. There are. So when they say there's 3 weeks before moving, the book picks up 2 days before they move, and so that stuff is all before the book.
Is
so,
it new?
Like the
Wait, so the hand scene happened.
no, the hand
was
scene's in the book,
rearranged?
but the hand
Okay.
scene is closer to the moving date, but it was rearranged timeline wise, I
That's what I
believe.
figured.
So is that new stuff that's not in the book?
The new stuff is like the breakfast scene, the scene of the grave. That's not in the book.
Loved that scene.
Yeah.
With him and
It's
his
funny
father?
enough. It's actually repurposed of another scene. There after Gurney at that training fight. Leto is supposed to come in after that.
This is
Where
later.
Paul's still in there.
Leto, his father, Oscar Isaac.
But so they repurposed that to be probably a more emotional scene out with the his father's grave, who was quite literally killed by a bull because he was.
Yeah, I was like,
And
what's
that's the-
Game of Thrones?
That's the symbolism of the bull, is that he was like this
Brave.
boasting person. I mean, he still garnered a lot of respect from the houses and stuff, but he had his indulgences, and he would host these giant celebrations where he would go out and
Is it
do this bull thing, and it like
Is it
literally
gonna-
stabbed him.
is it gonna come back around, the bull stuff? Or
No,
okay.
but it's you see it used, I think, by Denis as somewhat of a warning.
Sure.
There's a lot of symbolism with Paul always looking at it, or
We take it with them to
That's
yeah,
interesting.
they take it with them.
That's interesting. They think of it as a warning. I thought it meant as a sign of strength for House of Atreides, or a sign of who they are as people.
Well, in the book, you
the
can't
brave
see it on
people.
there. You can't see it on there because it's in the dark. But there's literally the blood is still on there. Like the blood is on the horn still. And there's actually in the book, which I'm surprised they cut. There's a huge argument between Leto and Jessica about where the bull head should go in Arrakis, and they start arguing. And that was the most surprising for me, and the things that like were translated differently. Leto is a lot more hostile in the book when it comes to like he's very much two selves. Like you see that version where he's like empathetic with Paul, like he's that, but then when he gets like riled up, he's very much like there's a like during that scene, like it was supposed to be what that bull thing I was talking about, like right before Jessica is talking to the new housekeeper, like that scene is in the movie. He literally tells her like, you can resume the thing of eating in your own quarters. I would only want to see you at formal functions. Like there's this whole deal where they're completely rift in their relationship because of how distant he is from worrying about the Harkonnen conflict. And so I was surprised they, I think they played it up more for Paul as a tragedy to lose his dad, which obviously it is a tragedy, but there's a lot more conflict between Lady Jessica and Leto that wasn't there. But I do like how it was played out with like the scene of like I should have married you. Like I'd like that.
Love that
like,
scene.
So I'm glad that was like added in there.
Because we were having dinner after the movie, and my dad was like, "Did he know an invasion was coming?" Because he says like, "I wish we had more time," and I'm like, "Is that because he knows?" But I think Edgar.
He's saying in the
started
context of like, I wish we had more time when it was just you and me. You know, we were romantic together. We weren't so distant from having to deal with this political conflict. We had time with each other, not necessarily time for what's ahead.
Yeah, that's what I envisioned too. Because I don't think he knew that a trap is coming. He figured he knew he was in a shitty situation.
In danger, but
But I figured it's like because like he's in a shitty situation and he has so many responsibilities now and possible impending danger. I don't think he knew like in a few hours the Harkonnens are going to come invade us. But
because keep in mind they raided the entire planet too. Like,
the entire. It wasn't just
it wasn't just
Arrakis.
the city. Yeah,
but
slot explosions.
I loved the sense of scale Denis used in this movie. The scale, the cinematography, the sound. Like,
dude, the sound design was amazing in this movie.
It really was.
Just the way that he picks up the sand, just small things like that. Just like
he did it like a few times. Like, he did it in water. He did it a little earlier on. He picked up the sand later. I think even like after that.
And I thought the visual style and sound of like the prescience visions was really well done. I was worried about like how they were gonna like differentiate that, especially like when he's down by the crawler before the worm's about to get him when they're rescuing the crews.
That was a great scene. I didn't understand it the first time, but the second time when he says like he whispers, "I can hear your footsteps, old man." Like he's referring to Gurney.
Yeah,
and that scene was really weird to me. I was like, oh, okay. I thought he was talking about something else, but he was referring to Gurney. But it's interesting because those visions worked for Denis because he does those a lot in his other movies. Like this is straight out of like Arrival, having the Hannah visions throughout the entire movie, or in Kay's case in Blade Runner, he's having those flashbacks of himself where he thought of himself. So it worked. I loved it.
It's wild seeing like it seems like even like the visions aren't like concrete. So
that was interesting.
Yeah, you'll notice you see Jameis, obviously who he
the
kills.
Black guy.
Yeah. But you see him giving like a spiel about like
it seemed like
life in general or something.
It seemed like he was like a mentor and a friend.
Yes.
Like, by the end,
what was that about?
But so that's where it's gonna get way harder for Paul because as he gets more powerful, who do you listen to, and that things aren't necessarily full versions of the truth or can easily go a different direction based on your choices. And so
and I was wondering,
it's all interesting.
I was wondering how this duel was going to end up because like he pretty much gets like the jump on him like 3 times in a row, like at his neck.
And is it because he knew how in the vision he saw himself die because of Jameis that he knew the moves
he's also trained. I mean, I think it was a combination.
He was trained, but I figured like it looked like he knew exactly what.
He knew his fighting style. Yeah.
And I think it was also a mix of like he didn't like go through because like as Jessica said, like he's never killed anybody.
Love that line too.
Good stuff. And I was really like thinking like, okay, we're gonna get to a point where like maybe someone will interrupt and like fight will get cut off, and then they'll start to like build up that bond later. But no, Paul fucking kills him.
I am so curious to hear Denis' reasoning on this, but this fight originally takes place in the Sietch Tabar, and all the Fremen group around, and it's like kind of like what we talked about with like Deathly Hallows Part 2. Yeah, where they're going, where like everyone was supposed to like watch Voldemort and Harry fight at the end. It's kind of like that, and then it takes place in there with like glow globes, like in the dark, and then it's like this big moment for when the Fremen kind of like start to acknowledge him, like, oh, who is this guy? So I was interesting why they separated that and took it out just in the open before they walked in there. But
I like that they put it. Yeah, Nathan.
Do you think it was like a matter that they wanted to have like some sort of climactic finality before?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
To part 2.
I think this is good.
Yes and no.
Do you think it would have been like too long?
I think it was
that book point.
I would have personally ended it about one scene later. When there is, I won't say what, but there's some sort of ceremony because of what's happened. And I would have ended it there because there's a pivotal moment for Paul during that. However, I think it's cool that it like teases the unknown and we're kind of walking off and we don't get to see their culture yet. We've only heard about it and seen them, just now fighting and doing that. But we haven't actually seen where they live yet. And so I think it's cool that that's kind of being like, because it's such a big part of what the thing is. So
and I like to fight. Oh, hey, what's up, Ben? Just got home from seeing Dune.
There will always.
Yeah, so we don't get to spoil you from Dune. Awesome, dude. Yeah, this movie needs to be seen in a movie theater. I saw it in IMAX, and then I saw it at Cinemark, the XD, the big screen for Cinemark.
It must be IMAX. You must.
Yeah, I want to see it in. I want to see it in Dolby next week because the sound is just phenomenal. Yeah. But yeah, I like that it ended on the fight because I think it worked for Paul's arc in this movie of him going from the sheltered guy in his castle to a guy that just killed a man, which is really cool.
Right, and even what I was talking about in chat earlier, my biggest thing that resonated with Paul's arc is his slow kind of downfall against Jessica a little bit of like, like that's your mom, but also like all this guilt of like in feeling betrayed, and then now you've lost your dad and your mom wants you to do this one thing, and it's like he has all this responsibility on him, and he straight up tells her like, no, like we're going into the desert, like and that was a big moment for me too of like he's starting to have the inclination to be a leader even though he's so young. He's being fully immersed into this there's no turning back now, and so it was very interesting.
Great point.
Yeah,
and I love their relationship, especially in the tent scene. And she's all he has that he knows at this point. To his connection to like his homeworld, Caladan, like in his family. So I'm very curious to see what his relationship goes with her, where it goes with her, as he becomes more connected with like Chani and the other Fremen. Hopefully it sticks. I love them together in scenes. Great. So I'm very curious to see where that goes.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued. Quite like I like the movie, but I think I had like one kind of like issue with. I think similarly with like what Preston's been saying in chat, of just like I didn't get the completeness feel by the end, which I mean is fair. It is like effectively like. It's not just like a part 1 or 2. Well, I mean, kind of is. It's like how these like films do, because you're adapting a book, but it's not just like a finale book. It's like it's the first book. It's the beginning. So it's kind of like, got that divide, and like I said, maybe I would have felt like more. No, I don't think so. I don't think if they got to like the actual like showdown where it was supposed to go in the book, because. When Paul won, I know you guys could say like it's a big like thing for like the completion of the arc, like when he wins the duel. I really didn't like get the impact too much from that, from whether that is just like Timothy's like performance in time or like how it was edited. Like I didn't really feel the impact of like Paul has killed somebody for the first time, and it's like you figure it would like hit harder, but I didn't really get that vibe at all. It just sort of like, okay, we done it. He's now a member. Our path is in the desert.
Yeah, it felt like he was still in that trance-like state after he killed him. Like there wasn't saying like, "What have I done?" kind of thing. It wasn't like that. He was still
keep in mind he is supposed to be 15 years old in this.
They probably aged him up for the movie, right?
Yeah, but still, I mean, he's still a teenager.
I pictured like 18 kind of person.
Yeah, I didn't think about it actually.
And also, I wish there would have been this one scene in the book in the movie that kind of talks about like kind of like once you kill, you never go back, like, and
well, they said something about just like to take a life is to give one.
Oh yeah, that was
to become one or something. Yeah, I think that was. I don't know if Stilgar said that or
something in regards to like, losing a piece of yourself with it.
Yeah. And so I think part of it for me is like losing that innocence of like, there is no going back, and so much of this universe is just so many people that going back to all the people on Arrakis that are oppressed, and not just the Fremen but the people in the town, where you're sitting there watching like the palm trees getting watered and like they don't have any water for the entire day. And like,
and then they're on fire later.
I like little moments like that.
It's Paul's like not losing his empathy, but slowly going down this path of like being desensitized to all these things because it's just the world is so cruel around him that he has no choice but to adapt and lead around it. And so it's just kind of a significance of that was it for me. But
Carson, what you think of the movie overall? You didn't really give your full
no, I absolutely loved the movie. Like, as much of those things that I just mentioned that like weren't in it, I thought it actually condensed stuff really well, because a lot of the setup in the book is like internal exposition, obviously, and so I was worried how that was gonna like play out. But I really like the first act, how it's like immediately we're at the dinner table, like, oh, Paul, use the voice on me. Bene Gesserit skills take years to master, and then we're okay. It's like cool, and then like, oh, the Emperor wants our rival house is not going to go on Arrakis, and we're going to take over, and we start to get these little things.
Is the painting of the guy on the wall we see toward the beginning, is that the Emperor?
No, that's Leto's dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
The guy that died from the bull.
Okay.
We haven't seen the Emperor yet.
Do you know which book we meet him?
Is it in this book? I thought it was in the first book.
Yeah, we'll see him.
So part 2 will. Okay.
Somebody said somebody's fan casting Mahershala Ali for the Emperor. Is the Emperor black?
He can
be, but
he can be. It doesn't.
He could definitely be. There's a concept art that is pretty cool. I can't remember what it looks like.
Was Zendaya? Was Javier?
Good point,
dude.
I kind of.
I'm excited for more Stilgar, guys. Javier Bardem as this character is so perfect.
Really good.
I can't wait for more in part 2, because
the spit scene was funny as hell.
It was. That got my theater. There was like maybe like 3 key moments of laughter, and it was just like
it
was like the perfect amount of levity. Like, but dude, some of them, just the scale of this movie was insane to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love like the tension that Hans Zimmer brought, like with like the hunter killer scene where it comes out of the bed.
The bagpipes.
The bagpipes, dude. What else? Like, just when they're escaping after Duncan sacrifices himself, I thought that scene was phenomenal.
I really thought, hey, maybe we could change.
How did they find them so quickly? So it's just like they were scoping out everywhere.
No, because
they're brutal.
Dr. Yui left. Dr. Yui left an Atreides tracker in the thing he gave them. When he got the ring, there was a tracker like in that bag. They explicitly say it in the movie. There's like, I have on the note, it says, I have left an Atreides.
No, how did the Sardaukar find?
Find them? Because both Liet was flying a ornithopter in, I think, and probably was followed.
They were followed. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, like, because they go in there, they're like, it would be a while before they find us here, and like 5 minutes later, they're here.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, how did
that zero-G fall in their suits is so cool.
So bad.
Dude, I'm telling you, oh my god.
One of my favorite scenes is when Atreides are fighting the Harkonnen on the steps, and then you see a flyover, and they come in behind them.
Yeah, and they start yelling, Sardaukar. Yeah.
Oh,
and like,
that's so fucking cool. I felt so bad, but like, that's so cool.
This universe is crazy, and there's only more to learn about everything. It's insane.
I was just giddy from ear to ear when I started just listening about the political intrigue, because I love that kind of stuff in Game of Thrones, where at first you hear Oscar Isaac saying, like, this is our new duty now, like, as he's talking to Paul on the island, and he was like, this is going to start up some war between us, or the potential to be one. And then we see like the Bene Gesserit talking to them. Then they talk to the
Harkonnens,
the Harkonnens, and then we see the Harkonnens talking to like the
dude
people,
and
the Sardaukar. I'm just like,
the Spacing Guild is so creepy too, because they like are literally the ones that control all travel in different planets, and we see them briefly on Caladan when they step out of the ginormous ship. But that giant like circle thing in the sky was like their interstellar like.
It's like
vehicle.
A bridge, right?
Yeah, and so then those like you see like the little pods coming out of all of the Atreides.
I pointed this out in like I think the second trailer, and I had asked you about it, and then I think it just reconfirmed, because like they have it to finish. Like you see a ship coming from that blue planet, and then like when it's coming through the bridge, you can see behind it, like through the tube above it, there's no like the rest of that planet, because it's the bridge through, and I'm just fucking cool gateway.
Very,
Yeah,
very
dude,
cool.
it's insane. And they use spice to see safe passage through.
It's
Which
what
they
makes
mentioned-
interstellar travel possible,
Yes.
Yeah, which they mentioned in the movie too, right?
which makes it the
yeah.
most valuable substance in the universe. They say.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
That
Well, so-
narrator-
And it
good
also
audiobook.
prolongs your life, by the way. I think that was
Really?
kind of understated. Like, there's like massive health benefits to,
What's
and that's
it-
how that's half.
So free healthcare.
The Fremen are able to survive
Free healthcare.
with so little water is because they have the Fremen is just all a spice diet, so they're able to thrive off of that.
So I have a question regarding the political intrigue of this place.
Yeah.
So
I got you.
the Emperor, his idea is like, okay, Oscar
Mm-hmm.
Isaac, you're too damn good looking. You're too the houses like
too
you.
sexy when you're.
He's
sexy,
gaining basically
he's
he's gaining
jealous.
favor in the universe.
Yeah.
He's gaining favor, and more houses are supporting.
More
him.
houses are supporting.
House Atreides.
Which
Makes sense.
Oscar Isaac mentioned. It's like
Yes.
our standing is doing good. We're doing good right now.
Desert power. Too much.
Desert power. But
Oh yeah, wait. Whatever. He had like air and water.
see,
Yeah, I mean, you see the
yeah.
ships on Caladan come out of the water, and that you see that Duncan come back in that like moon saucer ship.
Are we getting? Are we gonna get our Avatar 2 effects of water? In Dune
Dude, that
3?
okay. When they're about to leave Caladan and Paul's just walking around and we see all the ships rising out of the water, the effects are so incredible. And Hans Zimmer's just like going off like. I'm like,
Yeah. But my question is, the Emperor, jealous of Atreides, he wants to do away with them. He's like, okay, my plan is you go to Arrakis instead of the Harkonnens. Harkonnens, you get out of there. Arrakis or Atreides, you go in instead. My plan is to then have House Harkonnen and 20% of my men come in and betray Atreides.
yeah,
then-
and they
Harkonnen's going to be back in control of Arrakis?
My dude.
for now, yeah.
How is that
scene? That
benefit-
scene of him in the tub is in a.
So how did the Harkonnens gaining control again of Arrakis benefit the Emperor? Isn't Harkonnens? What if Harkonnens like, okay, now we are in control of the strongest spice?
Isn't it just a
What if
matter of?
we could-
Because
They
Isn't
can
it a
betray the-
benefit to the? Isn't it a benefit to the Emperor just by eliminating Atreides itself?
yeah, that's exactly it. Because
Okay.
it's more a benefit for the Atreides to have an
what's
actual
keeping the
noble.
Harkonnens aligned then?
I mean,
Money?
they're paying the Imperium massive amounts of money to like use the starter car and
Didn't they
Okay.
also say? Didn't Zendaya's narration also say like that they're now like richer than the Emperor himself?
yeah, and so that by helping them, they're siphoning out their money, and yeah, you're right, but also, what was I gonna
It just
say?
felt like for me that like, oh, what's stopping the Baron from being like, okay, now I want to kill the Emperor because I have all this power now.
Yeah, it's the starter car. I mean,
That's the
his
starter car. Okay.
that's basically it, and like the Baron is also very messy with his play. Like he is just like, I mean, he almost dies in this movie. Like
I was so
and they also had to wait
I
for
was
it.
so mad, dude. I was
pissed. I'm like,
that
come
motherfucker,
on.
like a motherfucker turned on his fucking shield, and I was like, oh, all right, fuck. But like, it still like went through.
Dude,
I was like,
it's so
let's go.
creepy
Like
when they're on
everybody
the
else
ceiling.
fucking fell, and he was like right in the face of it, and he survived.
I
Fuck.
wanted him to die.
Oh,
I'm
man. Me
pissed.
too.
I'm pissed.
Yeah,
Who's the
Wait,
real one?
Hopefully he has some like long-term damage. Is he gonna be?
I mean,
like,
he's
Grievous
already
and be
in horrible physical shape, but horrible
Is he coughing
physical
like
shape.
Grievous all the
What is
time?
that fucking black tar bath he's having?
It's like
Can
a
you breathe in
back to goo, probably.
You can breathe in that?
I don't think it explicitly says what it is.
What was that spider thing? That was really cool.
Yeah, with human hands.
Yeah, dude, there's some like creatures in this universe we haven't really seen yet. That little like chinchilla on the sand, that was adorable.
Love it.
Yeah.
Using his ears.
How about them sandworms, Carson?
Awesome.
Happy?
Yeah,
You happy,
dude.
bub?
And I'm when we just see the sand factory or the spice factory go down, and you just see the teeth like grabbing it down, and they're on
The Sarlacc shot?
dude, that was insane. And then like to see it actually up close, and then I love the sound effects of when like the thumper is like calling it away, and like also Liette's death scene where she's like calling it with her foot. I love that how that was edited, and also we get to see a little baby worm at the end.
Prior to her death,
Baby worm?
Yeah, the Fremen was riding the baby worm.
Oh,
at
it
the
was
end.
I didn't know it was a baby.
I didn't know it was a
Yeah,
baby.
it was a tiny little
But
worm.
prior to Liette's death, what was her plan?
So she's actually
they escaped, and then she stands in front of it like she's waiting for something, and then she dies.
Well, I think she was going to ride one, right?
Yeah,
she's getting ready to ride one.
Those hooks are worm hooks, and we'll see way more of that in the next movie.
Okay, so she was getting ready to ride one to safety.
Yeah.
The scene
Interesting.
at night when like the confrontation, like face to face with the sandworm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just sort of stopped in front of Paul. Any significance there?
I can't say.
Motherfucker, is he gonna pull a fucking Ezra Bridger and
so the sandworms found them even though they were doing the dance because they were on top of like
Well, I think it was already.
It was already
like,
en route, and then they
were
really,
just crossroads. Yeah.
Okay.
You couldn't really like run away in time.
Got it.
Dude, that must have been such a pain to cross that desert and have to do that fucking tedious dance.
How do you? I've been like, Mom, I'm tired.
Because you gotta like do this whole fucking shuffle, and it's like, all right, we made it like 3 feet. Fuck. We gotta get over the sand dune. Slide to the left.
It's crazy at that point too, because even then Paul's like taking charge isn't even more serious because he's starting to see things and he like knows like sort of like the instance of like he's like, okay, Mom, follow me, do this. Like I know what to do. Like
I'm gonna make a crazy ass Dune and finale prediction. Like deep books in. I don't know how the fuck things are gonna turn out, but I think so we had the end of this film right where Paul was like just saying, all right, Trey's staying here for a reason. I'm gonna follow what my father wanted. Desert power, fucking hashtag desert power. A real line from Paul. Hashtag desert power. And I think there's gonna be like big old confrontation come Arrakis, I think. And I like to think we're gonna get like a fucking Ezra Bridger type deal, where like Paul is like leading the charge. I don't know if it's like a power of the voice or whatever, but like he has like the fucking sandworms on his side. Big finale on the fucking sand dunes, the fucking title. Just like against the Emperor's army because the fucking sand power.
You'll be happy to know that the second half is insane in terms of action.
Really? Is it like Rising Storm action, Carson?
It's really insane, but you'll also be happy to know that the climax is equally as personal and grounded as part 1 is, I would say, in a different way, but with more players involved.
You're an all-star?
Was it Star Wars that I like?
Yeah, every Adam Driver interview is like, they made it so grand but personal.
Mm-hmm.
What Star Wars character would you be?
He's reading out of the press book.
I know, Adam Driver, poor guy. But yeah, I'm stoked for the action because I'm excited to see what Chani is going to be doing, Zendaya's character.
And I mean, we see a glimpse of a full-on battle with the Starter of them popping out of the sand. Oh, that shot's incredible.
That's an incredible sequence. So, who makes those that armor that Paul was wearing in that scene? Do they already have that on hand?
The gold suit.
The gold
I think
suits.
that's
who builds that.
That may be like repurposed. So the Fremen don't really waste anything. So it may be repurposed Sardaukar armor that they literally rip off dead bodies, or it may be something they build. I'm not sure.
Interesting. Another question. So we see a lot of visions in this 10 sequence. I need subtitles because I need to understand what Paul was saying.
Well, you could on HBO Max.
I know. I'm going to watch HBO Max. But he said at the end, he's saying like a war in my name. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah,
like a war in my name.
I mean, even if it is started by his father, it's still like Paul's carried over name.
And we see him and Chani like above Arrakis, or not above
Caladan.
Caladan. I'm like, did they go back to Caladan?
Paul's got the blue eyes too.
Here? He has blue eyes. I'm like, does he go back to Caladan? Does he become like a conqueror of worlds?
What does Spice do to Paul?
Yeah. I'm so curious about that vision. I'm like,
all right.
Is there another
all right, keep
coming?
your secrets.
I need to understand the vision. That's really going to get me.
Yeah, and there's only going to be more visions.
But with these visions, I'm like, should I even pay attention? Because they're not going to be true half the time.
You think of them as like premonitions to Paul of like, think of them like that.
Futures.
Where you're being told a million voices a minute, all these different things of what between some of it's past, some of it's present, some of it's future, and he's trying to sort through of like what does that mean.
Fuck that. Give me That's So Raven rules. Where like, oh, I can prevent it. Oh, but I caused it.
That's Raven rules. Denise, like from the hit show That's So Raven.
Absolutely.
Great show. But yeah, because a lot of these visions, I'm like, I want to dissect these visions because.
But I will say
half of them might not be true.
The whole thing of like the war in his name, I'll just say, just remember what Jessica said in terms of them looking at Paul and thinking that he's like
the Messiah,
a Messiah or Savior. That very much is a part of what it is.
Man,
and
that's so
further, we're gonna get blindsided, and it's gonna be his sister.
Oh yeah, fuck, she's pregnant. I forgot about that too. That
we get a premonition of like the birth.
I didn't see that coming either.
Of which they both have blue eyes.
Yeah, I'm like, Johnny, what happened? Or
y'all are not ready for Lady Jessica in the second part either. Like, if you thought her power was a lot in this,
what's the thing with the blue eyes?
What can they do besides the voice?
So the blue eyes is like the long exposure to the spice, right?
Yeah, it's they literally their diet is mostly spice or spice infused things because
spice.
Hey, so is mine. Heyo.
Spice smoothies.
That's me with cayenne, but
only certain people have like that activated prescience. Like there's just Fremen that like are
just chilling,
right? Like they're not like and part of it has to do with the training and part of it has to do with like just who you are, and it's kind of it's like the Force kind of where you're like like Jyn Erso could like tap into the Force, but it wouldn't be the same as like Rey. Like like it's a different kind of like
everyone's Force sense.
Yeah, kind of like that, where it's like everyone can eat spice, but like how
I haven't got like negative chills.
Yeah,
everyone can eat spice, but everyone doesn't have the mind of a carefully catered down line to Paul Atreides of and trained by a Bene Gesserit and like that whole deal. So
what do we?
Yeah.
Is there any like enhancedness from like the blue eyes? Like, does that like alter you or?
No, I mean it's just
in effect.
Yeah, it's just like a side effect, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you would not answer me what the spice does specifically to Paul.
Yeah, I can't. Well, it just has to do with visions and other things, but
visions and shit.
Star Wars visions and shit.
So before we end, when do you guys think? First of all, that Dune sequel is going to be announced? Monday?
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow? Monday?
I hope Monday.
It has to be soon. They heavily hinted it on Friday, where there's like the Warner Brothers president was like, "Well, we saw the ending of the movie, so
yeah."
I'm like, just say yes.
I'm going to say Monday because right now it's tracking well, box office wise. It's being received very well by not just critics but general audiences as well.
It's a sweeping epic, man. That like I'm surprised so many people. I'm glad so many people.
Me too.
Yeah,
I'm happy a lot of regular people liked it.
I'm seeing a lot of packed screenings in my theater.
Yeah.
Even like, and that doesn't even include like whatever's being like accounted for on HBO, which we can never fully know properly.
Yeah.
But probably assume it's nice.
They have to reveal those numbers. I'm very curious to see how, because this is shaping up to be, even if it hits like 35 million at low end, it'll be the highest opening weekend for an HBO Warner Brothers movie this entire year.
June is the most streamed of the whole release, which they say like every time it feels like.
Yeah. But I'm very curious, like how does it fare in terms of streaming? Because they didn't say that for Suicide Squad. So I want to see the streaming numbers. I want to see the opening weekend numbers. And I just want to see confirmation of Dune Part 2. Because
if you would have told me that Dune was going to outperform the Suicide Squad, I would be kind of surprised.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That's insane. Or Dune outperforming a lot of movies this year already.
Mm-hmm. My favorite out of context Letterboxd review I've seen is somebody rated 3.5 stars and they were like, "I got Zendaya baited." But even at that point, they still gave 3.5 stars.
That's great.
What was I gonna say?
When do you think the movie could come out? Like Like, when do you think Denis wants this movie to come out? I
Well,
think
Denis apparently has already shot some stuff for part 2.
Yeah.
I know.
He pulled
Yeah,
he pulled a Revenge of the Sith for like George did.
yeah.
I bet if they shoot
Next year,
it can come out in 2023.
I think 2023 for sure. Because for a dense and I don't know, just for a movie like this, I want it as soon as possible. So
Yeah,
2023 is as soon as possible.
I would say.
Especially if you're gonna wait on the books until after you see the movies.
I'm not, but
Yeah.
Is it wild that like Dune was originally supposed to come out December last year?
I know.
it would have killed that December release.
It was
too.
you could probably think like all that time it was ready. It was just ready. It was almost a year past.
Mm-hmm.
It's finally here.
And 2023, I'm just so nervous now because all these comic book movies, we just talked about release dates in 2023. So my dad was like, it has to come out during Christmas 2023, right? I'm like, Star Wars.
It could, but Rogue Squadron.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It could come out. People always forget about the first week in December. Just do the first week in December, ride the high until Christmas.
It's pretty good.
People always forget about that. But either way, yeah, this was a fantastic movie. I loved it. I don't know where I
could
rent
do
it.
October 2023. The only thing there is Untitled
Halloween
Blumhouse and
Untitled Sony Marvel.
That's what it is. Okay.
is that there still?
Yeah,
Or did we talk about that? Oh,
we talked about that one. It was the June 2023 and October 6, 2023. But either way, like if it's Venom, it worked out well for this year. So you never know.
Very true.
What was I gonna say?
But yeah, I haven't even talked. Like the cinematography of this movie is insane, and the IMAX. Like I know we didn't like hammer on it a lot, but it was like so cool to have the combination of like Zimmer score, this expanded aspect ratio where like most of the movie was the expanded. Like I didn't even recognize when it changed because most of the movie was expanded.
Yeah, I did. But I was just, it's because I was looking for it. I was like looking at the bottom screen. I was like, dude, yeah, there it goes.
And I man, we didn't even talk like Jason Momoa's Duncan Idaho is fantastic.
I'm
All
sad.
the supporting characters.
I want more.
Man, when he rises up from the from his wound, great shot.
Dude, he was impaled. He was like.
Also, I didn't even like. Did you mention on Caladan where Leto's like, "Hey, how much did they spend to get here?" And Thufir did that thing with his eyes. So he's a Mentat. I don't know if they brought it up in this movie. Like Mentats are also trained, but they have like extreme like calculative abilities. Like they calculate anything and like try to figure out like the percentage of like what the outcome would be for you. Is also a Mentat. Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, oh, cool. Which is like, it seems like a lot of this world. I'm like, freaky. But
and dude, so they're scary too. And then like, and also Dr. Yue is like, that little triangle on his head means he's under like imperial conditioning. It's supposed to be like you can't like divert from your training. You're physically like conditioned to like. So it was such a big surprise that he was a traitor because he's under imperial conditioning. So
I know he signed his note with it.
But yeah, man, I cannot wait to keep talking about. I could talk about Dune all night, but
yeah,
this movie is
one of my favorite scenes. Is Gurney in the barracks, and then he looks up, he says, "God in heaven," and then you just see the huge ships come in. He's literally fighting in his pajamas. I'm like, that
dude, when those ships, it was so cool when the ships dropped down and like dropped off the troops, and then it's like on me, and then they just
so boss.
And all the shields in this movie, how cool is that? Where like it's like shaking to penetrate it, like the dart that went into Leto's back.
Oh, that was so cool.
And it was like shaking to get through. And he was trying to
get it. But then like later Duncan like having the issue, but he fucking gets it away. It's all so good.
So cool.
What was it? It was the year 10,191.
Yes.
I believe.
Jeez.
Is that Earth canon? Is Earth a thing in Dune?
Not that I know of, but
it's like a distant pastime.
It's just an assumed fictional future galaxy.
Like Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, the year 10,000. That's a whole 8,000 advance.
Yeah.
I know.
I'll still be alive by then.
For all we know, the sun blew up in our solar system, and
That's
the
I'm pretty
end.
sure by
Like,
then it's supposed to.
yeah.
That's dark.
So,
Solar space. No
which
Akiri
puts things in
scream.
perspective. Like, it took that long to be able to do all these technological advancements, yet people are still starving for water. Like, it's crazy to think about, like, all the advancements in this universe, yet how many people are just like completely
Still suffering.
So that's a lot of what these movies are, or hopefully part 2 will be about.
Capitalism.
More is like, yeah, I mean, it's like it's a huge critique on imperialism and people coming in and like
Is there
messing with people's worlds and resources and all sorts of stuff.
media like music
Yeah.
and stuff?
So
Like,
you saw the
Shows?
film books.
Yeah, at best there's like audiobooks and there's
So
like
like
live.
someone
was that-
gives
Yeah.
Paul like an actual book in the thing,
Mhm.
and it's like weird because like you don't have books anymore. Like it's
Gurney
all,
was reading a book. When
Yeah,
they
and
landed.
it was all it was all curled up
was
and
old.
crusted, and but it's just very interesting because everything's
Emperor
been so
Outlaw.
condensed into digital media, but then people like don't have access because if you're like in the slums.
Are you saying this is a narrative construction of our society's lack of physical media?
You know what? I'll go there. I'll go.
Write the article. I'll reach.
Okay, because Dr. Yui gives Paul actually it's a copy of the okay, so Earth would be canon in this because it is. He gives him a copy of the Bible, and so
Oh.
presumably, yeah.
Gosh,
I
the
didn't
son
even
of
think about
Revelation.
Paul is
Yeah.
Jesus.
No, but
We
it's
did
cool.
it!
It's cool because it comes with this thing because he can't touch the pages, otherwise it will kind of like disintegrate. And so it's like
Crumble.
in this
Yeah.
little thing, and you like unlock it with your finger, and it's like this little seal on it. And I guess like you unlock it with your finger, and then you can go to pages. And what happens in the book is Dr. Yue wanted to like share a quote with them. And he opens it, and he goes to the wrong quote, and he goes to Dr. Yue's wife's favorite quote, and
Oh.
he says it, and Dr. Yue like yells at me, he's like, "Stop!" Like just like because that was her
Wow.
favorite quote, and so that's played up in the
Oh.
books of like, yeah,
Cool.
Towards his betrayal and stuff. Interesting. Oh, wait, so it's a part where he's getting told about Arrakis. Is that in the book?
yeah, that's in the book. He actually there's some more scenes with Thufir where he asks more questions, and then
There
there's
was
more like
some-
film book things as he watches, and
There was some trailer dialogue that was cut. I was remembering.
oh yeah,
What dialogue?
Like I remember, like when he was like confronting like the head. What are the names of the witches?
Ben and Deseret.
Bene Gesserits.
Bene Gesserits. Like the head, woman. They were talking like between her and Paul. Paul was like.
Dude, she was creepy. That whole arrival on Caladan
Yeah.
was so cool in the rain. I knew you were like
it's
that.
so
Like,
cool.
Oh,
But
I
they-
loved it.
But they had like dialogue of just like your father's losing a planet, he's getting a richer one, he'll lose that one too.
Oh yeah.
oh, and keep in mind how cool that is because the Reverend Mother is also so. Bene Gesserits can also be truthsayers. Like you hear in the movie that she is the Emperor's truthsayer, and
Even like the
You-
dudes
she-
that like
you can-
caught him were talking like if we run into a truthsayer, we can just say we drop him in the desert.
yeah, and so that's why Bene Gesserits are also so powerful is because they can literally, by reading someone's body, they can tell if they're telling the truth or not. And so
Can they
that's
overthrow
obviously
the
such a
Emperor?
political intrigue. What?
Can they overthrow the Emperor theoretically?
Theoretically, they could.
But the Sardaukar.
And possibly that's why they've been doing all this breeding crap for so long is they want more power. It's just centuries of
Wow.
meddling.
Granted, there's not a lot of them, it seems.
Right. It's like a very exclusive school of like things.
And
Jedi?
where do they get their power from? Is it spice?
It's all training. Like it's all.
Okay.
I mean,
So
some
Jessica wanted to be in the Bene Gesserit? Or was it
I
like you're
don't
born into
know.
I would have thought it was genetic and that Paul like inherited.
it? That's what I thought too, a little bit. I don't know.
You're right. It is. I think it is partly genetic of your mind that you're born into it, and then it's reinforced or activated with the training. Essentially, I think how it works.
Okay. Yeah. That
Um,
works.
Well,
I like how Ben says Jason Momoa's Duncan is what we should have gotten in Aquaman. I mean,
well, I mean,
Denis kills it with performances. He never. There's a tweet that said like all his performances in all his movies are
Oh,
all
dude,
great.
Batista was so good as Raban too. I loved him.
Yeah. What's his name?
Uh,
I thought it was
something-
Rava. Didn't he call him Rava?
It's Raban. It's
Raban.
Raban. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, Raban. Because I'm like, who's gonna beat that guy? That guy's huge. Like,
Yeah.
is Paul?
Yeah,
gonna, like,
he does
fight this
all of the
guy?
Baron's bidding basically of running the
He's
military
Baron's
for
nephew or son related.
nephew?
I
Dave
think
Batista?
Yeah.
not nephew. He's
Well, you referred to him as uncle.
yeah. So he would have been.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
he's
you're right.
so-
You're right.
Okay. I'm like, does somebody fight him or does he? I don't know. Don't say anything. No.
But did we find
He will be on Arrakis and he will be fighting. That's all you really
Okay.
need to know.
Cool. I just see Paul's like super small versus big David Bautista.
Raban, yeah.
That would be so.
I mean, we
fun.
saw him fuck up Daniel Craig in Spectre.
I know. So, like,
That's true.
Paul has no chance unless
Twig,
he gets eaten by a worm.
with that voice. Ezra Bridger.
But yeah, this is an excellent movie. Part one, yeah, I haven't felt this way about like a part one in a while. I was like shocked that it ended there. I just wanted more of it because I love the world building. I love the characters already, so I just want more. I want more. Yeah,
I'm good. Okay. I don't need more.
I need it all. I could have been in there for another 2 hours.
But Evan, there's also a prequel comic out called House Atreides that goes over.
I didn't know if I should read that yet.
Paulus's, so Leto's dad's reign, and then it goes into and develops Leto's kind of claim into everything.
Is that good for somebody that hasn't read the first book?
I
I mean, I'll do release order. I'll do the book first.
Yeah, I would do. I'd probably do Dune Messiah. Then I'd probably go do that comic.
Is Dune Messiah the second book?
The second book, yeah.
Okay, what's the third book called?
Children of Dune.
Okay, and that's a follow up to.
I mean, it's a sequel, but it's kind of the start of a new chapter for everything happening in the
because
universe.
Edgar said like Dune. Edgar says like after Dune Messiah, like that's like the end of Paul's arc.
I would say so, yeah. In terms of like a good ending for it, I would say.
Okay.
The good ending.
If we get a trilogy out of this, man, imagine.
I know.
Imagine
I know.
a Knives Out trilogy from Ryan Johnson and a Dune trilogy from Denis. Please.
Is
Dune
the trilogy,
Messiah is
but is the
really-
trilogy just a duology in theory?
Good point.
No,
Yeah.
because it would
if you
be
put-
Dune
if you put-
1, Dune 2, and then Dune Messiah is a way shorter book than this.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, if you view
What's way
Dune-
shorter?
If you
how
view
long?
Not
Dune
way
as
shorter,
part
but-
one and part two as like one overarching narrative, and then you have Dune Messiah, is it really just two stories?
Oh,
as
I see
opposed
what
to-
you're saying. But yes,
Dune
I would
Messiah
count it as a
movie
trilogy.
2021.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2, part one.
Dune Messiah is 200 pages.
Mm-hmm.
That's it?
I can
How
read
much
that
is
in a day.
Dune
But
one?
dude, a lot of shit goes down.
How many pages is the first Dune?
A lot.
You have the
I think
book,
5.
open it.
Well, this is the smaller pages too, so it's different.
Even so.
It's
Yeah,
500 pages. Or
Damn.
490.
Well,
Or,
all in all,
It was
I think
good.
it's good. I think
we rambled.
We rambled.
I still haven't ranked it. I'm gonna see it again tomorrow, and then I'll rank it in my Denis Villeneuve.
I don't know if I can.
If I currently rank the
It's
Denis
so
films
hard.
I've seen, it's
so hard.
I like them more than Sicario.
Respect.
Goddamn, 2049 and Prisoners and Arrival are just so god.
Those three are the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
I
I haven't seen Enemy. I
Enemy.
got spoiled on Enemy, and I feel like it would fuck me up. If I
No, wait. What did you get spoiled about Enemy about?
That it's like
No, don't say it. Don't say it. I haven't seen it.
I thought you saw Enemy. You haven't seen Enemy?
No, I haven't seen Enemy.
Wow. Okay,
There's no, like, all of it.
you guys are fucking failures. I mean, you guys need to get
it
on
was
that.
the same year as Prisoners, apparently.
It came out in 2013 via festivals, and then Prisoners came out officially in September of 2013.
What's their officialities versus the actual?
Because if festival was like it didn't come out.
Mugen Train was a 2020 film, but it didn't officially release.
It was in Japan.
It's not a 2021 movie.
It is for me.
It's a 2020 movie.
Me in America, where I was able to see it.
Born and raised in America.
Speaking of anime, My Hero movie is next Friday.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Get your tickets.
Kelly's
Tickets
probably
are
gonna see it.
available now.
It's
There's
called
also re-releases right
Roll-
now of Howl's Moving Castle, which I might go.
Oh,
Great.
oh,
I actually got a bigger theater.
gorgeous movie.
But yes, this was fun. I
This was
plan
fun.
on seeing Dune at least one more time in IMAX, probably the same day I'm going to
Nice.
see Eternals in IMAX. So I'll get a
Ooh, that would be a
Nice
nice
double
double
feature.
feature.
indeed.
It's a long day. Shit.
Look, man, you're talking to a guy who did triple, even quadruple.
Is
I did-
Eternals longer than Dune technically? But like, is Dune 235?
Yeah.
How long is Eternals?
Eternals is
237.
237.
Are you serious, Chloe? What are you doing?
What are you talking about?
Evan walks out. Oh, that was complete, comprehensive.
We're gonna find your impatience.
Yeah. Long movies, man. They give me the hives.
Hives.
The hives. You can find me on
EBGBs.
You can find me on Twitter at HarrisEv9. Succession comes out tomorrow, episode 2 of season 3.
Nice.
Curb Your Enthusiasm season 11 comes out tomorrow. What else comes out? Oh, in a few minutes, my brother and I, who's in the other room, we will be watching the season finale of Fena Pirate Princess on
Dude,
Crunchyroll.
Kelly and I actually watched a couple episodes of that. We got.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
And then we needed to get the next disc, but we'll probably just watch it on Crunchyroll.
It's a great show. I'm about to finish watching it right now. Hopefully this is season 2. I'm not sure.
Nice.
Loving that. 86 came out. Ben knows I love that show. It was great today. In general, yeah, I'm going to be diving into... We got a runner.
Every time he's...
I'm going to be diving into Dune. I want to dive into Dune. I also want to dive into like The Witcher. And
You're gonna love
Game
it,
of
dude. Oh
Thrones.
my god, I can't wait. I can't wait to talk about the books. I'm rereading the Dune right now. I'm just gonna reread all 3 that I've read.
Awesome.
And continue the comics and all that. So
I'm high on Dune right now. I love it. Thank you, Denise.
high on spice.
High on spice.
Dune Wikipedia page. Where can I find you?
You can find me actually refining my knowledge that I just didn't have the answers to. I thought
you were gonna say refining coaxium. I was like, what?
refining coaxium, refining spice, refining knowledge, all over on Twitter at the Film Card. Yeah, catch me there. What else? I saw No Time to Die again today, and did we ever talk about Halloween Kills? You two haven't seen Halloween Kills yet.
I still haven't seen it. I need to.
So
How
yeah,
about
and
Peacock
then
for one reason?
Next time, baby. Next time.
Last Night in Soho is next week,
Okay,
right?
Terrence.
Is Last Night in Soho next week or the following week? I can't remember.
It's next week.
It is next
Yeah, I'm
week.
pumped to see that.
Absolutely.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of that guy.
Yeah.
Edgar
Ghost-
Wright, Anya Taylor
so.
Joy. Never heard of him.
Go stream Anya Taylor-Joy's
New single.
different. Both singles. There's
There's 2.
There's up tempo and down tempo versions. They're both great.
She can do no wrong.
But yeah, that's what I'll be doing. I'll be streaming and, tweeting.
Oh, hey, Kelly.
Carson's gonna watch something? What?
Right? You can find me at _ Nathan Rojas, where it never fails to make Carson laugh. Even though not this time until I brought it up. Fuck. Cool. Lit.
You almost got away with it.
We could just vamp for 20 more minutes to beat our Last of Us record, Nathan.
But yeah, you can find me there. I'm gonna be checking out different things. I'm actually gonna be diving into the previous Dune media. Specifically, I'm gonna dive into, I think it was the David Lynch
I need to do that too.
film, and then I'm going to be checking out the miniseries, and then the Children of Dune miniseries after that. That's connected.
Jeez.
So yeah, it's all fun. All the reactions, they're coming. So it should be a blast and a half. With that being said, if you guys enjoyed our podcast, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe already. That being said, hope you have a great day. Remember the tooth.